Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. If you missed the live broadcast here on SNTR Gaming, you can use the timestamps below. Those will take you to the various things that we talked about. The lead topic today is Dying Light 2, the delay. I'm going to tell you why I think it's going to hurt a little bit more than other delays. I am still pro-delay, but if you want to hear my thoughts, I do it in just a few seconds right here in the broadcast. I'll also be giving you my first impressions of Deathloop and talking about why I think Godfall is good now. It's better, but it's still got a long way to go. We like to kick off every day with this, and this is an SNTR update. The delay of Dying Light 2 came not that surprising to me, and I wanted to talk about why I think it will actually hurt a little bit more than other delays. A lot of games are delaying, so I'm not picking on Dying Light 2, but there are some unique things going on when they decided to launch, as well as what's been happening leading up to this. If you like these short videos, be sure to hit subscribe, the bell button, and the like button. So, The Gamer reported on this. Dying Light 2 was originally supposed to launch in the spring of 2020, and it has now been delayed again for the third time, and it will be launching on February the 4th of 2022. And it is my position that this will really hurt the game. I want to open up by talking about development limbo. I always grow concerned when a game delays too many times and the development cycle gets stretched just too far. You can see this in other games. They end up in that development cycle for far too long. When they finally launch, they don't really come out baked in the way that you wanted them to. Fans can also tend to grow impatient, worried, concerned, and then consumer confidence can start to really drop prior to launch. You never want to see the confidence of the consumer, especially your target audience, start to wane and grow concerned about the launch of your game. After so many promises that the game was on track, this one hits a little different. There were so many dev updates, so many videos saying we're on track, we're still looking at December. This delay feels like a combination of I told you so and are you kidding me? I kept telling people that the December launch date was very precarious, saying anything, not just Dying Light 2, anything set to launch in December is probably not going to. It's just a very tough time right now for the developers out there to hit their deadlines. The second thing I want to talk about is February is full. Setting their sights on February could really backfire on them. It's becoming the new December, with more and more titles getting delayed and pushed in to February. The best thing, I think, in Dying Light's corner is that they're landing early February rather than later. After the 20th, from that point on, that last part of February is very full. It's incredibly stout and very competitive. So, if they have to delay again, similar to the way Cana Bridge of Spirits has had to continually do these like little delays, if they have to delay again, they might consider just pushing it all the way out of February, which I know there are fiscal year returns on investment. There's probably money reasons for what they're doing, and that has to be considered in the giant sort of, decision-making process of where does it land, when does it land, how much money can we make on this. Again, this is why I think this is really going to hurt Dying Light 2. Lastly, third time is not always the charm. This is the third delay, and when you have to delay a game once, twice, people are like, okay, that's fine. Just tell us when it's ready. We're now looking at a third delay, which I think is just going to start to rub people the wrong way. Game delays are usually good. I'm always in support of them. Don't misunderstand this video. I'm glad that they're making the right decision for the developers, for the product. I don't want the people working there to suffer or the product that they're making. This is all understandable initially because 2020 was just a bizarre time. It's continued to have repercussions in the gaming industry, but to have to do it again to December and then again out of December after so many assurances were made, it can start to feel like a broken record. Passive hype and consumer expectations can also swell to unrealistic or unfair levels because it's been delayed so much. People are going to think this thing better have no bugs or problems, it better run perfectly, and it better blow my mind. The more you delay the game, the more people are going to expect it to achieve excellence since they had to wait for so long. This is one of the reasons that delays are a double-edged sword. It both irritates the consumer base and creates greater expectations. My hope is that this was necessary for the quality of the game and developer health and doesn't hurt sales or success any more than it already has. If you like these short update videos, click the link below to head over to SNTR Gaming, where I stream every single day, and I'll see you in the next one. And I'll see you guys right now. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Thank you for being here. We kicked off the day with the topic again. This is the lead. I will give you my first impressions of Deathloop. I will talk to you about how I think Godfall is better now, but it's got a long way to go. What's good, feed? I see you in the chat. Appreciate you guys being here every single day supporting the stream. We had a good time yesterday with Deathloop and the conversations and everything. And smash the like button. Get us our first 100 likes for the day. I believe a lot of times a December date is just a placeholder date. This was a little bit different, though, Stutzo. You are correct. They do that a lot, right? If their goal is to say, hey, that game's going to launch sometime in 2023, it'll have a placeholder date. But usually when it's a placeholder date, it's December 31st, right? And so they put it there to say, hey, yeah, well, that's our hope, you know. And you see that December 31st, and you know, right? You know that, okay, all right, well, they're just aiming at landing in that year. And usually when they do that, I'm of the opinion, I'm like, well, that we're probably not going to see it in that year. That's just like a hopeful thing, right? Real Lono immediately after the recording. I'm not even doing recordings ahead of time. I just do it live, and then Creature comes and grabs it later. Coyote with a $5 tip says, hello, no. Thank you, Coyote. I appreciate that very, very much. Appreciate everybody being here. Smash the like button. Let's do it. Let's do it. Dying Light 2 delay. Is February a good move? Yes or no? Do you think February is a good move? That's what I want to know. I'm worried about the February choice because here's what people are going to do. I didn't say this in my video, in my opener. Here's what people are going to do, all right? There are going to be a lot of folks that say, February's full of games, and I only have so much money. And the question is, that, you know, will they decide to pinch their pennies and step over Dying Light 2 and set their sights on bigger titles like Horizon Forbidden West? I mean, that's going to be in a lot of people's minds. That is currently the way that a lot of people look at game launches. What else is launching around that time? You allot yourself so much money a month or whatever, and then that's how much you can spend. I think that February is really going to hurt. It's becoming too full. It's becoming the new December. Holiday 2021 or whatever year for a release date is not ideal. My friends think that this is the summer, not realizing it's a holiday relates to this calendar. Well, sure, but in the West, that's also just a time of the year for other cultures as well. December is just a big time for everybody, you know. When will you continue Tales of Arise? Never. I'm not going back to that game. If you may not be familiar with this kind of content, I don't play a game with the intention of playing it all the way to the end. I play it to showcase it for you. You can sort of see the first couple of hours and then make a decision as a consumer. I don't do that. It's very rare for me to be able to play a game to completion, even games that I like. I don't get that luxury. We've got to kind of hop on to the next thing, you know. My February budget's spoken for. So many games are coming out, it'll be overshadowed by Destiny, Horizon, and more. The only thing in its corner, as I said in the video, was it is landing really early. February the 4th. I mean, it's like, okay, it can get out ahead of everything else and potentially, you know, land and be like, okay, this is the game. You know, this is it. You don't, you know, I'm going to play it. I got 3 weeks to wait or 2 weeks to wait for these other titles. You know, it could. It could. But the first quarter is absolutely rammed, and I can see more delays all the way to the second half of 2022. That's the other thing that's going to start to happen, Sinos, is a lot of these companies are going to say, dude, this is too It's too full. We need to push again. We're gonna launch in this quarter, and there's too many games coming out. Rumors are Division 2 content is supposed to be coming in early 2022 as well. Yeah, Elden Ring is out the week before. That's right. That's exactly right. Now, to be fair, the audience buying Elden Ring is not exactly the masses, okay? I love From Software. I do. I've been enjoying my time with in Dark Souls. I have. But the truth of the matter is, I don't think the crowd that's buying Dark Souls is setting their sights on you know, Dying Light 2, right? It didn't go to the next show, buddy? All right, hang on. We got showtime going on right now. Give me 1 second. The next Pokemon episode is very important. It's very important. Be it just further squeeze on casual interest. Well, sure. I don't think the Elden Ring crowd. I don't think the Elden Ring crowd is doing that, right? I don't think they're going to be like, oh man, I was going to get Dying Light 2 and now I'm not. I think the Elden Ring crowd is going to be deep in Elden Ring no matter what comes out after it, you know? Hey, now I'm looking forward to Dying Light 2 and I'm a Dark Souls player, but you have to know that that's not common, right? Like, the overlap between these games, I would wager to say that a lot of the From Software fans, a lot of the Dark Souls fans are not like diehard Dying Light fans. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see the overlap. I could be wrong, but I feel like the From Software fans, and this is the way I'll phrase it. There are probably people that love From Software games that were looking forward to Dying Light 2, and now they're like, well, I'm going to wait, because you're going to be deep in the throes of Elden Ring. Like, you're not going to play Elden Ring casually, and then, like, a couple weeks later be like, it's time for another game. Like, I would imagine that this would be the type of... Elden Ring would be the type of game that would really pull you in, and you would put a lot of time into. I've liked Dying Light. I've never played Dark Souls. I think the majority of the gaming populace leans toward games like Dying Light over games like Elden Ring just because From Software has a reputation and people are like, I'm not going to play that game. We had the Elden Ring easy mode debate a while ago, and there's a lot of different ways of looking at how do you even market a game like Elden Ring to the general population. I think Dying Light 2 has a lot going for it in that zombies have been kind of out of the frame for a while. Zombie games have been out of the picture. They're investing in sort of the open world, sort of the feel of like, hey, there's a lot to do. There's a lot of investment. There's a lot of decisions. You're impacting the world. Who you choose to align with. I think that a lot of people are gonna gravitate to it and enjoy it. In terms of media interest in YouTubers, game journals, and streamers. Well, sure, but you have to understand, Sinos, they'll run Elden Ring. Most people will run Elden Ring coverage for about a week. They'll give you their first impressions, they'll reviews, they'll upload a lot of gameplay, and then unless they're that type of content creator, they'll move on, right? That's true of virtually every media outlet, every YouTuber, unless that's your bread and butter. I don't think that a lot of people are going to camp out on Elden Ring. You just can't. Like, most YouTubers don't do that. Most journalists don't do that. You can't. Like, the interest, the public interest moves so fast. I mean, it's vapor. I was talking to my friend the other day. We were having coffee, and I was just talking about the challenges of doing YouTube. And I said, you're basically living off of vapor. You know, this is relevant right now. Now it's not anymore. It's just here and gone so quickly. It looks like Far Cry with zombies. I mean, generally speaking, Dying Light, that is essentially like the backdrop of it. It's got that Far Cry feel, but you're dealing with zombies. You got the open world, you got the map clearing you can do. It's first person. After watching you play Godfall and you enjoying the combat, I went ahead and bought the game. It was a 30% discount on the PS Store. Yeah, that's later in the show. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on why I think Godfall is good now, but it has a long way to go. Like, they got a long way to go, right? And yet, I think they've done good things with the combat. Now, I'm going to give you what I still think they need to work on. There's still elements of the combat that I don't think work all that well. I would love to interview whoever worked on the combat to be like, what was your goal here? Like, there's a lot of influences from other games. It seems like a buffet of ideas, and yet it still somehow works. I know initially they didn't have animation canceling. I'm sorry, they didn't have button queuing. And I think what they were going for was like super intentional, weighty, every button press matters. Like, that's what they wanted the combat to feel like. And people ended up hating it, you know? Minchtree used the question command to submit something. It shows up on screen if you use the Q command or the question command. You mentioned that games of the December release date, it's perilous. Well, I said precarious. It's doomed to be delayed. Why is this so? You're kind of misinterpreting what I was saying. I was saying precarious as in it's not a strong date in my mind, right? It's not a strong date. Is this the channel you'll be on to grow? Yeah, I don't know how much clearer I can make it. I did an upload. I did shorts. I did a video that said this is my most important video ever. And, a whopping 7,000 people watched it out of almost 50,000 subs. I've announced it numerous times. We do the live show over here now. Yes, this is where we do the live show. We still give that other channel content, though. It gets premieres of gameplay, and Hilly and I stream over there on Friday nights. So we had to make the change. Got to the end game in Godfall? You got to the end game in Godfall. Okay. But what I meant when I said precarious was anything that is setting its sights on December, I was like, that's just such a loose date. That's so loose. Like, I don't think you can guarantee that. They're putting themselves all the way to the back of the wall of the year to be like, oh, no, yeah, we can make it. We can make it. Horizon Forbidden West kept saying, we're on track for a holiday release. We're on track for a holiday release. And we were all like, sure. I thought it was going to happen. I thought Sony was going to pull out all the stops. I thought that they were going to crunch. I thought they were going to just make it happen. They were going to force this thing to happen. And I was confident that Sony was going to make sure that the game launched, right? It just, there wasn't enough space, they ran out of year. And with Dying Light 2, the reason, the reason I thought it was precarious is because they had already delayed it once, and every time they were talking about it, it was like they were trying to convince us that it was coming out in December. Because the reason that the launch date of Dying Light 2 started to get questioned was because we didn't hear from them for months. You know what I'm saying? We didn't hear from them for months at a time, and all of a sudden they came out and they were like, "Oh yeah, no, the game's set for a December launch. This is what we've been working on." They started doing this series on YouTube. And I was like, I don't know. This seems like there was something weird about it. I don't know. There was something off about it. Now, maybe they were on pace, and maybe what Eugene is saying, like Netherlands shut down, maybe that really, really affected what they thought they were going to be able to do. Like, they couldn't anticipate things kind of regressing, because that has certainly happened. Things have regressed in regard to that. and a lot of places have had to respond. They were like, "Oh shoot, we're in a bad way right now," and that probably affected their predictions and their whatever they were planning on doing. At this stage, couldn't we just push the holiday season till February? That's what it feels like we're doing, right? Like, let's just all vote to move, like Christmas and Hanukkah and everything. Let's just move it all to February, because that's where everything is landing. Now, I still think, that Horizon Forbidden West dealt with the Netherlands shutdown. I don't know where Dying Light's being developed, so they might have still suffered their own, restrictions to what they thought they could do. I mean, they might have had to change plans. I personally, I don't know why I had this gut instinct, but when I was watching those videos and watching those guys like try to convince us that the game was going to be good to go, the game was going to make it, it was going to launch, it was going to be there in December. I thought, I don't know, I had a weird vibe from the videos. They just felt, it was like when someone's trying to convince themselves of something. It was like, you guys don't seem to believe this. It's like you're being told to say it because, you want to keep consumer confidence, which, if they knew deep down that it wasn't really likely or it wasn't really possible, then to me, it's like you shouldn't have said anything, because you've now made all these assurances and promises and you're having to walk them back just weeks later. It's like, man, you just got done telling us this was good to go. Let's look at this from a different perspective. Nothing ever comes out early year that's big. This might do really well, since people usually are bored in January, February, and March. Just my guess. It could be one of those rare instances where this is just so crazy, it might just work, right? This is so crazy, it just might work kind of a thing. Launching a day after Halo probably helped the decision to delay it. That is another factor to consider here, that they were probably like, look, we're already up against a wall, and then Halo walked out and announced their launch date. We can't land there. We can't land right after them. We gotta move. This isn't worth it. We're gonna break our backs to share the calendar with Halo? Absolutely not, right? Like, probably somewhat similar audiences. The first-person shooter crowd, that age demographic. Yeah, I don't even know who plays zombie games anymore. I would imagine everybody, kind of. It's a pretty broad spectrum, you would think. Project managers on games and most creative projects are bad. Well, I mean, that's one, I think, the biggest downfalls. One of the biggest downfalls and shortcomings of the industry right now is project management. You can have all the best developers in the world, and it doesn't matter if you manage the project poorly. You know what I'm saying? Just wait till April. All the huge games from December, February will pass. Then April hits. What do you think's happening in April? You know what I mean? Butters, where'd you come up with that? I know this is true in the streaming world, right? In the streaming world, January to March is when everything kind of slows down. It's like everybody has a big hurrah. They have their Thanksgiving and then their Christmas and then their New Year's, and then there's a couple of months there where I think doesn't spending go down? Like, people spend less in those months because they had their big, end of the year, They spent money on a party or presents or whatever. What's good, E-Man did it. What % of the games that have new February release dates will push those games back even further? Yeah, that's the other question. Are other people going to start to say, man, February is just getting too full. We got to get the frick out of here. It's getting a little cramped. You know what I mean? Just saying, all the people will be playing the rush months and then have a new big release to focus on. Is there any big releases in April? April's the fiscal year closing for many game studios like Ubi. We're bound for a decent release then. Oh, I see what you're saying. They're going to try and sneak something big in April. I don't even know if there's anything slated for April right now. I think everybody's got eyes on February now. Like, it's a mad dash to February. It's like, well, none of us are landing in November and December. Like, Halo pulled it off, but nobody else is, and so everybody else is just eyes on February. Software project management is an absolute awful slog, especially if you're trying to innovate. That's why folks get jaded and never want to give a date. Right. Rainbow Six, Horizon Forbidden West, D2 Forspoken, GTA 5, and Elden Ring are all scheduled for spring. Okay. February is also the month families take a vacation. Is February a big vacation month? I've never heard that. Stalker 2 and Warhammer. Okay, so Stalker 2 in April. Is that really a big title? Like, is Stalker 2 like a big AAA title? I don't know. I'm asking. I'm not familiar with the Stalker series. I've heard people talk about it, but I myself have never dabbled in Stalker 1 or, you know. Oh yes, it is. It's a big title. Okay. I've not paid much attention to game launches outside of what's right in front of us because we're trying to constantly grab whatever's happening just to put it in front of you. Like, even if it's an offshoot title, some of these titles have been really good, like Gas Station Simulator, you know, later today. Isn't Wonderlands also in April? Good to see you, Loot. Yeah, that sounds right. April for Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which I don't know if I've shared my opinion on that. I think Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is going to overshadow Borderlands 3 in popularity. I don't know about total sales and like commercial popularity. I have a sneaking suspicion that Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is going to become more favored. It's going to be, the fans are going to like it more. They're going to flock to it and give it more praise and love than they did Borderlands 3. That's what I think. So February has, February of 2020 had Cyberpunk, Dragon Ball Z, Marvel's Avengers, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Doom Eternal, Zombie Army, One Punch. How many? Yeah, so February usually is a pretty big month for releases. I didn't realize that. I did not realize that. Flight Simulator, well, wait, that's not true. Microsoft Flight Simulator didn't land in 2020. I don't know if this list is accurate. Ghost of Tsushima landed in February 2020? Is that true? Are we sure that list is accurate? There are things on there I know did not land in February 2020 because Microsoft Flight Simulator landed like a month or two ago. Some of them got pushed. Okay. If those are genuine release dates, those are a lot of titles. I didn't realize that February was a big time. Maybe in their mind, you just want to avoid January, right? Like January, everybody starts kind of saving their money, and then February, they start trying to spend. They start spending again. I don't know. I mean, I know January is terrible for that kind of thing. So maybe that's why they all jump in February. They're like, well, February is right when people start being willing to spend money again. Oh, Flight Sim hit PC first. Oh, it did come out then, but on PC. I didn't realize they did a staggered release of that. I thought it launched all together at the same time. If you're just tuning in, we're discussing game delays, how full February of next year is, Dying Light 2's delay. This is a safe for work broadcast. You don't have to worry about the kind of language that I'm going to use. A lot of people tune in every day and treat me like radio. If you're new, hit subscribe so you can talk in chat. Subscribing is free. We just use that as a barrier. There's a lot of bots and things out there, and that's a nice way to keep the chat from getting overrun. You can use the question command as Mithrax just did and have your comment featured just like this. Silent Warrior said, with more and more games being delayed, should studios not announce the game's release date until they know they have a finished product? You will notice that is now the theme, right? All of this year, any game that says anything, they don't say anything. Now during the Sony presser, they showed the year. A couple of them said like 2022 or 2023, but they're not putting the date anymore. Listen, if I was a game studio and I was a publisher right now, you cannot count on anything until you're like I would say, until you're in the 6 to 3 month window, right? Until you're in there. You gotta wait to say anything. You have got to wait to say anything. You cannot dive in and say, oh man, here's our date, until you're a lot closer to the release date. You're going to run the risk of something pulling the rug out from under you. So many things can happen right now that, you know, oh, we're good to go. Everything's good. Boom. Yeah, I was wondering why you were telling me that, Creature. I was like, say what now? By the way, if you like the shirt that I'm wearing, the Star Wars collection over at 80s Tees is amazing. Use the shirt command. I'm drinking another sample of Rageless Roast. Let me take a sip here. Let me take a sip. This is number 4. I don't know. We might have a winner. We're trying to launch Rageless Roast Select. We have right now a dark and a light roast. A lot of people buy a light and dark together so they can try it. People in chat can tell you how good it is. The balanced acidity is one of the main reasons it tastes so good. When you order that, it supports me and my family directly. We're not working with some other company and getting a kickback. We literally buy the coffee. It ships to my house on a big flat skid thing. It's in my house. My wife and kiddos pack it up and ship it to you. So use the coffee command, the shirt command, all the other things. If you like my disc plates, use my disc plate command as well. Game devs should not announce anything until they're ready to show gameplay and they're 3 to 6 months out. Yeah, I'm to the point where until you're at least like, okay, we have a minimum viable product we know we can ship in this many months. You know, yeah, the question command's open to everyone. We're considering a variety of things here. You know, there are some YouTubers out there that do like a 99-cent membership just so like everybody can become a member. I don't know if we want to do that. I like what we have, but at the same time, it's like now that we have 2 channels and 2 channels with 2 membership pools, a lot of you guys are double dipping. A lot of you guys have left your membership over on Presents, and you're continuing to support me. So I'm like, well, let's leave the question command open for everybody. I don't want somebody to feel like they have to have a membership in both places. And I also don't want people to feel like, oh, let's get rid of our membership over there. Because I like when we go over there and stream or do premieres, seeing people with red badges and, you know, long-term support of that channel. Because that channel is going to continue on. So that's how you do it. Yeah, there you go. There you go. You get the launch date tattooed on your arm. There you go. Don't give me a date until you're ready to pack and ship in the 1 to 3 month period. Yeah. I don't know. Here, I think the biggest problem is when you get down to the 3 month period, you're still in a debug. You're still trying to fix problems. You're still trying to get ready to ship, and all of that could go poorly for you. You know. I'm getting my red badge at the end of the month. I appreciate people keeping their memberships over there. We greatly appreciate it. We really, really do. We've obviously made a huge change, and it's been scary, and we're still not out of the woods yet. So you guys that are showing up every day, smashing like, taking the poll, talking in chat, leaving your membership over there, all that matters is that the membership stays. If you guys keep your membership there or move it here, that's the only way we're going to be able to continue to do this, because it's going to be dark before the dawn. We're not out of the woods. We are not out of the woods, but it's looking good. It's looking good. It's like early signs of like, okay, this is what we wanted to see. So even the 1 to 3 month period doesn't mean anything anymore. Look at New World. Well, and what they did was they said, okay, we still have some rough edges here, and the community pointed some things out that we could really work on. I didn't feel anything dramatically different the second time I played New World, right? I didn't. I was like, I don't know if I maybe should have went and read the patch notes and been like, what have they streamlined? What have they worked on? Was it just stability issues? Were they just squashing bugs to make sure that like, okay, we don't want people like falling through the map or having crashes? I didn't feel like anything had changed. I feel like, well, the combat's still pretty clunky, and you know, and listen, the combat gets significantly better when you play mouse and keyboard. I will say that. I will say that. It did get better when I went mouse and keyboard. I had people getting right up my nose on the video. They're like, I can't believe this guy's playing an MMO with a controller. I'm like, you mean like ESO and Final Fantasy, 2 of the most popular MMOs in existence? Well, they're on console. Yeah, they also run on PC. The frick are you talking about? Like, playing an MMO with a controller isn't weird. It's actually pretty common. All you gotta do is look at the right ones. Like, I mean, I know you're probably a fanboy of, like, I don't know, World of Warcraft and EverQuest, but there are plenty of very popular MMOs where they're optimized for controller and people enjoy playing them on controller, you know? New World combat also gets way better as the weapons get more leveled. Yeah, our biggest challenge right now, okay, we haven't necessarily figured out what to do when a game like that launches. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Do we spend a week in it and break down a topic about it every day and then move on? I don't know. I really don't know. I've got so many good ideas for content, but then I'm like, I'm gonna kill the channel. We've got so many good ideas for ways to position a series and content and have something unique, but then at the same time, it's like our bread and butter is the talk show. We can't really depart from that. We can't spend a month in New World, or should we? Like, I don't know. If you get too drilled down in a game, then you're gonna have a big mushroom of growth, and then all these people are like, yeah, this channel's great, and then I'll start talking about something that's not New World, and they'll be like, frick this guy. Like, it's really, really tough. Apparently, Battlefield 2042 might also be getting delayed as well into November. Yeah, I've already heard whisperings and rumors of a Battlefield 2042 delay. I gotta tell you, if there's rumors, it's coming. Those kind of rumors don't come out of nowhere unless Call of Duty fanboys are planting them and just trying to cause trouble for Battlefield. I mean, I guess that would end up helping them, though. You know, if you spread a bunch of rumors about Battlefield getting delayed, you suddenly make them relevant. Everyone's talking about it, and they can walk out and be like, no, we're good. By the way, here's some gameplay. Like, if we're hearing these rumors and these whispers, it's probably happening. They're probably going to have to delay it. And that could be because of things discovered in the there could be things discovered in the betas that they've done, the tests that they've done, you know what I mean? Super weird elitism and gatekeeping, how people play and enjoy video games will always be so weird to me. In defense of the people that were like, man, I just watched this guy like fart around with a controller for 15 minutes, I kind of want to defend them because that's on me, you know? It's not made for controller. I'm trying to make it work for controller, and I'm just getting frustrated instead of just jumping into the gameplay. So then, you know, they got to fast forward, and I can't tell them, you know, I can't tell them, oh yeah, you know, fast forward in 15 minutes. I give up and play on mouse and keyboard because I don't know that's going to happen. Tom Henderson tweets, Battlefield 2042 delay update to be delayed by several weeks and not months, which conflicts with the other rumors, but it's what I have heard. Late November 2021 is currently flying around. Okay. Tom Henderson's been extremely reliable for leaks pertaining to Call of Duty, Battlefield, and the rest. So I would imagine that, yeah, like I said, that's happening. Then if we're hearing about it, then it's coming. It's coming. The Dying Light 2 delay, or delayed again, to me, wasn't surprising. Some of these bigger titles, when they give you a locked-in date and we're this close to it, that's always a little surprising. It's like, wow, I mean, you get just announced in the summer. You know what I mean? You just announced. What were your final thoughts after Deathloop playthrough yesterday? I'm going to give you my first impressions. I've got it written up, the good, the bad, and the potential. You know, my thoughts on it. After 2.5 hours of playing, I will tell you this. I thought I was going to hate it. I did. I thought I was going to get invested and start playing and start shooting, and then I'd get really angry. I had to brush up on Returnal last night, and boy am I glad I did, because holy frick, I was getting my butt kicked. I swear they made Biome 1 harder. I think that's the balancing that they've done. I think the balancing that they did is they made Biome 1 and 2 harder, and then maybe they toned down 3 a little bit, because Biome 1 and Biome 2 felt like this, then Biome 3 just kind of shoots up like a wall. I think what they've done is they've raised the aggression and the lethality in Biome 1, you know, and then I think they lowered 3, so it's more of an even slope upward. So like as you're going through biome 1 and 2, you're getting your teeth kicked in, and then when you get to biome 3, it's not this sudden shock. Because I'm telling you right now, I was like, this is not how hard biome 1 and 2 used to be. I know I'm rusty, but even when I first played the game, it didn't feel that way. When I was a total noob to Returnal, I'm like, I was not getting rocked this much in biome 1. What happened? I think that's what they did. I think that's the tuning that they did. The balancing that they did wasn't just to tone down 3. It was to increase the difficulty of 1 and 2, so it's not such a shock going from 1, 2 to 3, right? Oh my gosh, I don't think it was my rust. Master Ty, I know I was rusty, but even once I got back in the swing of things, I was like, no, they made Biome 1 harder. I know they did. They made Biome 2 harder. The enemy saturation was higher. I know it was. The aggression and how often they shot had been increased. I was like, this is different. Now, I finally, by the end of the night, I stayed up way too late. By the end of the night, I got to Biome, I went to Biome 2, and I beat the boss. I'd kidded myself out enough to where I could die and come back once, which I needed to do in the fight. And I managed to beat the second boss. I keep up with the subreddit. There was no indication of earlier biomes being harder. It could just be the perception of somebody that takes a break from the game. But all I know is, Eugene, when I first installed it and played it, like the very first day, Biome 1 did not feel that hard. Now, maybe they ramp up. Maybe the game adapts to your experience or something, and you're like a frog being boiled in the water. You don't realize it. I swear I need to go back and watch my first couple of playthroughs of Biome 1. I'm like, I know I wasn't dying this much. I know the enemies weren't this aggressive. Do you know how many times last night, I think they've increased a couple of things. They've increased those bosses where you drop through the floor, the surprise bosses. I think they've increased how often they show up. I think they've increased how often you find ether. I think they've increased how often... there's also this new thing. Some infected body attacked me. What the frick was that? An infected body attacked me. That was new. That never happened in Biome 1. I never had that happen before. It beat the crap out of me. I had finished the room, and all of a sudden, there was like a version of me attacking me. That is new. That is new. And I think all of those things add up to an increased difficulty in Biome 1. So, a lot of indies dropping in Game Pass are getting any 30-minute video from you or no. Do you want to know the biggest problem with any... That's not new. It just wasn't working all the time on launch. Well, then that's new. I mean, it's new. It's not new, but it is new. If it wasn't happening... Eugene, I played that game a bunch. I streamed it like 3 or 4 times. 3 hours or 4 hours every time. We put a ton of time in that game. I never saw that crap. And the surprise bosses dropping through the floor, I think I saw one all the times I ever streamed it and played it before. I was like, what the frick was that? Last night, I ran into 3 of them. They killed me. They killed me 2 of the 3 times. People on Reddit who are consistently playing the game may not be noticing subtle changes. Or we're rusty, Master Ty. It could just be the rust. I mean, it could just be the rust. I don't know. Because I did get better, and I did beat the Biome 2 boss last night, and I felt pretty good. I was like, okay, I've still got it. I've still got it. I can go and beat the bad boy that I used to beat last time. You know what I mean? You making excuses for Biome 3 already? No. I actually don't think they toned down Biome 3 that much. I didn't even get to it. I think they made Biome 1 and 2 harder so that the slope of difference is not so drastic. That's what I think that they're doing. I didn't even get to Biome 3. I think that Biome 1 and 2 were significantly easier than Biome 3, and that's where the complaints were coming from people. They were like, Biome 1 and 2 is a cakewalk. Wait a freaking... And then all of a sudden I'm in Biome 3. What is this? I think they raised Biome 1 and 2 in aggression and enemy saturation, and that makes it more seamless when you get to Biome 3. You're like, oh yeah, this doesn't feel as drastic. The last time I played that game, it just felt drastic. It was like Biome 1 is a joke. Biome 2 is... I actually thought Biome 2 in some places was easier than Biome 1. And then I would get to biome 3, and they'd be like, ha, 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 smack, smack, and I'd be dead. What? 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 It's just 2 smacks. Smack, smack. Dead. Go back to the beginning. Sorry for confusion on sub mode. Yeah, Russell, believe me, we've considered doing members-only stuff, members-only streams, but we know that's a terrible idea. Like we kick around ideas all the time, and I'm like, nah, you can't do that. You're going to drive away new people. You're going to drive away discovery. You're going to drive away the lurkers. So sub chat mode is literally free. You click the sub button and you can chat. And it's immediate. I don't even make you wait, you know. There's bots and stuff out that'll spam if you don't do that. Let's go to Doom's comment before Mithrax's comment. Doom says, I'm really starting to believe publishers won't tell us things until launch. I think they're getting tired of gamers' expectations. Well, it's hard to say, I'm getting tired of these gamers' expectations when you set them. Like, the Dying Light 2 developers made assurances month after month after month. Like, the bulk of their communication this year was, here's something cool, game is set for December, we're good. Like, they would end a trailer, they would end the video with Dying Light 2, December. Like, it was, that's on them, right? I get it. Player expectations can go crazy. Even, funny enough, I said this into my video, I think delays are a double-edged sword. Delays both disappoint and create higher expectations. Do you see? It's like, I'm disappointed in this delay. I was looking forward to playing it, so customer satisfaction, maybe customer confidence goes down. On the other side of the blade is people saying, well, it better be perfect. You better not have a single bug or problem. It better blow my mind. You've delayed this three times, 4 times, whatever. So expectations go up simultaneously with consumer disappointment. That's a really unique place to be. That's a really unique place to be with your product, to say, we have to delay. And you got some consumers saying, I'm really disappointed, I'm really angry. And then you got other consumers saying, well, this game better be absolutely phenomenal. And some of them probably say both. I'm disappointed, and boy, you better knock this out of the park, because I'm sick of these delays. So, delays are just an awful, awful double-edged sword. In a world where everyone is giving release windows, they had a solid date 6 months in advance. That should have been the first sign. Hey, somebody ordered some coffee. The coffee order's kind of slowed down recently. Thank you so much, Option, for doing 2 bags of light. Get your orders of Rageless Roast in. We had one order yesterday. Whoever that was, my wife did not print the label last night. She'll print the labels tonight. We always print the labels in 24 to 48 hours. So it's either the day of or the next day we print that label. So the shipping, and it gets to you very, very quickly. So thank you for that coffee order. Get your coffee orders in, guys. My wife says she wants 3 orders a day. So, she threatens me with not bringing me my lunch. So use that coffee command for me, please. Are these companies making up a majority chunk of the market? I literally don't care when a game is delayed. I'll take it when it's shipped. I don't know. I just received a poll from YouTube asking if I was satisfied with their notification system. Yeah, they may be looking at revamping it. They may be looking at it. They're getting ready, I think, to push some things out, and they're probably, you know what I mean? I'm excited to get my coffee. I hope the acidity is balanced. My man, thank you, Gab. Thank you. It really is. It really is. If you try other coffee after you get used to Rageless Roast, you will notice the difference. Like, my wife would go to her favorite coffee joint, and she would go to get her coffee that she liked there, and she's like, it's not as good as yours. And if you know my wife, Madam Crumpet, she does not mince words. She has never once tried to stroke my ego. She's like, no, your coffee's better. I don't like my coffee over there anymore. Like, her and I almost never agree on coffee flavor, and we agree on this. Yo, good morning, Brittany. February is full of games right now. No way I can get all the games, but I'm okay with the delay. So what do you do, chat, when this happens? I'm curious, because I'm in a different scenario. I buy every game that comes out because it's a business expense, right? A lot of the times I buy it on Steam, knowing I'm going to play it less than 2 hours, and I'll just refund it. If I really enjoy the game, I don't do that. Even if I never go back and play the game ever again, I let them keep their money. But if I'm like, that game was okay, or that was a JRPG, that's not really my cup of tea, I refund it. I think that's fair. I tried your game for an hour and 50 minutes. I showcase it to the public, and I want my money back. I'm not going to play your game ever again. I don't like it that much. But if I like their game, I let them keep their money. I think that's fair. And I'm curious what you guys do. What do you do when there are too many games launching? Do you do the classic American thing and you just do it anyway? You're like, well, charge it, and you regret it later? Or are you picky? Do you pick one or two? Do you say, well, when money's tight, I'm going to pick one and I'm going to squeeze it, right? You're a ravenous streamer. I'm a gamer that turned parent. I'll buy it when it's out. I have enough things to stress about. No, yeah, right. Real life plays a factor. Sid says, I just buy the one I want the most, I finish it, and then I go to the next. So you create a triage of games. You're like, this is my triage, here's 1 through 4, and you just buy one, finish it, buy the next one, finish it. Okay. Speaking of short Steam play sessions, you should try Gris. It's on sale for $7. Didn't we? No, we played Glyph. Gris. I know this game. Oh, it was on my wish list for a really long time. Very atmospheric. Yes. It's not relevant anymore, so I can't play it. It's too old. It'll be a waste of my evening. I hate to say it that way because it is beautiful, Raijin. And you know me. It's right up my alley. That was on my wish list for a very long time. Eugene says, let's take Deathloop. Extremely interested. My September budget is spoken for. I'll have to wait until the dead period. I didn't make you coffee. Oh, babe, I'm sorry. Because you guys were leaving, I didn't think you'd want any. I didn't think you'd be back this fast. My wife is very sad. Did you know that you can make it yourself? You could try.
What about lunch?
You could try. I could. It'd be unfortunate because I'd have to get up from the chair and people would have to wait for a really long time, and
Don't they have to wait for a long time?
All right, okay.
42 for my 820 stream.
She was taking my daughter to the dentist.
Your daughter.
Yeah, my daughter. You were taking my daughter to the dentist. When I'm speaking personally, I don't include you. That's not how it works. Like when I talk to people about the house, I'm not like, our house. Like, what the frick is wrong with him? Why would he say, no, my house, my car, my yard, right? I'm not...
My coffee. Oh, wait.
That's just how I speak, right? And to be fair, I paid for it all. So it is mine.
You paid for it all.
I did. Even the coffee has been paid for by me. Guys, please order some coffee because this isn't going well for me. I'm not. It's like when you're watching a sporting event, you're like, oh, that's not gonna go well for him. You totally struck that one out. That's an expression in sports. Struck that one out. They say that. They say it. They say it in sports ball. This is his last game. He's retiring. It is because I had to close the door so early. It's unusually warm in here, and now it's worse because you've come in and done this thing that you do. You have this power. I'm really, really sorry I didn't make your coffee. I actually thought you were just going to get something because you didn't ask for it. You just left. You just left.
You don't ever ask for lunch.
No, sure, but if you leave, sometimes you make preparations and then I have lunch. So I thought you had made preparations. You're just going to get a coffee when you were out. I make you coffee like 365 days a year. I make you coffee. I miss one day and it's like a problem. Like, do you have any idea the expectation there? Oh my gosh. She said minus a week because you were in the hospital. Boo frickin' who, she remembers. Do you see? Do you see the mind of a woman? Ouch! She pulled hair out of my leg. Do you see the mind of a woman? It's like that was my fault, Yeah. Pfft, make me coffee 52 weeks a year, except that time you're in the hospital. Yeah. Laying around doing nothing. Like only a woman could like act like that was something that you wanted,
You're not making me.
No, I'm not making you coffee. I'm doing a show right now that you are I don't. There's no. You're not. I was gonna say you're graciously interrupting. No, I'm doing a show that you're interrupting. That's what's happening. An orthodontist. Great. Great. I can't wait. Now, the dentist has recommended that my daughter go to an orthodontist. That's awesome. If there's anything I need right now, it's more expenses, you know, as we make less and less money every month. That's exactly what I need. If I make less coffee, it'll last longer. Yeah. We've sold one order this morning. Chat. We've sold one order, so sorry, Mama. Yeah. She said no lunch. We need 2 more orders of coffee. Don't do that. How selfish of you, going to the hospital for heart issues. Yeah. Okra shake coming up. You should just not get sick, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, here we have a streamer who we thought was canceled by the mob, but in reality, he dug his own grave for being in the hospital for a week and not making his wife coffee. That's right. Take away this man's shovel. Here's what I do. I just keep digging because eventually you're so low in the ditch that like they just give up. They're like, well, this guy's just an idiot. I can't even see him anymore. That's the strategy. Once you start digging the hole, just keep digging. Do you understand? The mistake is trying to stop and climb out. You're just embarrassing yourself. Just stop it. You're already down there. Just keep digging. And then eventually they just give up out of pity. They're like, this guy's just a moron. And then the conversation's over. That you'll actually be happier if you do that. Not exactly on topic with everything else, but Age of Empires has an open beta this Friday. Did you plan on covering that at all? No. I don't play those types of games. I don't. I mean, I will if it's super relevant. Like we have played some of those sim games. We've done that, right? But this Friday, we have to bring back From Friday. We do. We got to bring back From Friday, and it's been too long since we've done it. There wasn't anything big enough releasing to bump it, right? A Man Can Dream? Yeah, sorry. I'm hearing tears from the other room. Pokemon's getting shut off. It's traumatic. There's a weight in the room now. If you keep going at this rate, I'm going to have to toss down a jackhammer. That's right. It's not on topic. Have you seen Sony sending private invites to PSN Plus owners to buy a PS5? I mean, I'll answer you. That's old news. They did that like 3 or 4 months ago, and they were trying to get. It was the weirdest headlines too. It was like Sony wants PlayStation 5 owners to buy another one, and I was like, huh? They were just basically hitting people with DMs to be like, do you want to buy another one? And so now maybe they're doing it to anybody, to PSN Plus owners so now they're probably just hitting anybody on PlayStation to be like, do you want to buy one? The thing that they were the challenge that they were running into was they wanted to get it into the hands of the people that own a PS4. That was the challenge, right? That was the challenge. So man, we had some the live audience. Frick you. Seriously, frick you, live audience. You can all get fricked. We had some momentum, and I took a 3-minute break to talk to my wife, and then we lose the momentum. Frick you. You're not even here now. That's the problem. I wish I could catch the people that leave, because you guys are still here. Like, why is he saying that to us? Not you, the people that left. I wish we could do exit interviews. So why is it that you were leaving the stream? Oh, he took a minute to talk to his wife. Okay, hang on a second. Frick you. Like, can we do exit interviews? You're not allowed to leave the stream. You have to like go through a process of an exit interview before you're allowed to leave, right? I was like, what did I do? That's the frustration, right? It's like the people that are still here, they're the good ones. It's like, I want to grab the ones leaving to be like, can you just chill? I'm allowed to talk to my wife. We'll get back to Dying Light 2 and delays in video games. Come on, what is this? What is this ADHD? You know? Settle down and just stay for a moment. What's the optimal number of bags of coffee for UK shipping? you're in luck. If this is actually good for people outside of the U.S. because we can ship to you first class. Don't go over 3 bags. I can ship 3 bags first class in like a non... If I have to use the USPS stuff, the USPS stuff, it's freaking ridiculous. It's so expensive. It's awful. Guess I gotta go lurk somewhere else. Yeah, I'm one of the good ones. That's right. Joe Rogan, TED Talks, or Lono. It's tough. It's a tough decision, right? I'm just taking a crap and didn't leave the stream. They have no excuse. That's right, Hilly. That's right. You're allowed to talk to your wife, just allowed. You're not allowed to get sick. That's right. That's right. I'm allowed to talk to her. I'm just not allowed to go to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Zubair, if you can read this, we're finally getting the salt, rage, and tears of unfathomable sadness today when Lono doesn't beat Biome 3 again. You know what's funny is I was playing last night, Eugene, and I was like, I remember why I freaking quit this game. Like, the first 20 minutes was like, oh, this game is beautiful. It runs so well. It looks so good. Oh, the sound design. Oh, the combat. First 20 minutes. After that, frick this game. Oh, I remember why I quit this game. That was so cheap. Give me a break. That's how long the honeymoon lasted. It was 20 minutes maybe. And I was like, yeah, I remember why I quit you. I remember why I quit you. I remember why I put you down. And then I go for another run. And then it's 12:30, and I'm fighting the Biome 2 boss. And I'm like, that's right. That's right, you son of a... And I beat him, and I was like, okay, I still got it. Then I went to bed. So, in record time, you guys don't care about the lead topic. It took an hour. And no one gives a frick. You guys are submitting questions about other things, so we're just going to move on. I'm not going to camp out on it, all right? You guys run the show as much as I do. So, we're going to shift. I was tempted to lead with Deathloop first impressions, but I just don't know if you can carry a show with that. So we're going to have to move on. The delay of Dying Light 2 hurting it and being a problem is a swing and a miss. That's all right, though. We've got other things to talk about. I've got Deathloop first impressions. I thought I was going to hate it, and I want to talk to you about the good, the bad, and the potential. We also have Godfall. I played it for 45 minutes, right? This show has lead topics. Yeah, what do you think the thumbnail and title is for? Was that my favorite? You know, no. We pick a title and a thumb that we think is the strongest. And I thought the day after the delay, people are going to want to know. Let's lead with opinion. No one gives a frick. No one cares. Delays, we have now learned. This is the 3rd time we've tried to do this. Delays are the frickin' worst topics, period, to cover. Period. No one gives a frick. They're like, it was delayed, cool, nothing to say about it. I'm like, all right, let's get them rallied. Let's say, well, this one's gonna hurt. This one's gonna be bad for the game. No one frickin' cares. And we discovered, even with like real short videos, when it says that the game was delayed, no one clicks. Because it tells you all you need to know. You're like, yeah, it's fine. It's delayed. Okay, cool. And then you just move on. I thought you made the thumbnails because you were bored. That's right. Good morning, Zubair. Zubair, Eugene told you, he's like, you're going to get Returnal Salt later, right? We need to make the thumbnail solid black with white text that says click me. I know. It's like, who cares? Who cares what the friggin' topic are? Arch Enigma says, which parts of the combat in Godfall were satisfying to you, and which parts did you want to see improved on to build that 30-second content loop? I'll tell you. I loved the weightiness and the second-by-second decision-making. So they separate elements of the combat, I think, in just the right way, where you're making decisions about you're making decisions about, like, do I wait to swing? Do I wait to do this? And you're breaking that down mentally at the same time as you're analyzing what the enemy's doing. I actually really, really loved that, right? Could you actually A/B test different thumbnails? No, you can't. There is no figuring this out. It's literally throwing a topic at the wall and seeing if it sticks. That's every day, and I hate it. very much. It's annoying. It's freaking awful. I literally hate it. It's like, can we just do a show? You know? Can we just do it? Can we just do a show? You know? Blip. Maybe. Probably. We've been having blips in the first 20 minutes. We made it an hour and 4, no blips. So, Godfall's another good concept, but the execution was poor. Right. That's what I like about the combat in Godfall. I do. I like that. It's like, it's weighty, it's heavy, like that moment of like you swing and then it like flashes and you wait to swing again. I absolutely love that. Now, where does the combat go wrong? Well, it goes wrong in a variety of ways, okay? Number one, targeting the enemy and then not being able to like tap the joystick to switch who I'm targeting. Why? How is that not a standard feature in your game? What are you doing? What's happening? If I target the enemy in front of me, and there's one on his left, and there's one on his right, depending on what happens, my mood, or who I'm prioritizing, or what they're doing, I need to switch who I'm targeting, and they don't let you do that. Doesn't make any sense, right? So, I know they fixed button queuing, which this is insane to me, okay? So, let me explain what button queuing is. Button queuing is when you go to attack an enemy and you know that if you hit X, X, Y, X, that's basically a combo. Light, light, heavy, light, right? Or 3 lights and a heavy, okay? You're going to input 4 things. So you go up to the enemy and you just go X, X, Y, X. You just do it. X, 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 Y, right? Light, 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 heavy. That's called button queuing. You're queuing in the button presses and then the guy does it. If there is no button queuing, you literally have to go swing, 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 swing. Like, you have to press every time. You can't queue it up, right? Yeah, that's what I found, Christopher. I found that just don't target anything in Godfall, which can be frustrating because then you'll have an enemy that's really, really low health, and it's really, really hard to get to them because you're trying to turn your freaking character. I found just don't target anything, and it tended to run a little bit better. Freddie Jackson with a $10 tip through Super Chat. Man, this chat is super. Lono Lude. Is this how you join membership? Lono Badger. Sorry, I had nothing to say. I just put random stuff. I love you, dude. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was really bad at launch. It's actually playable now. There's still no animation canceling, but you can lean around it. Here's the thing about animation canceling. I love animation canceling, but I will readily admit it doesn't belong in every single game. It doesn't. It doesn't belong in every single game. You cannot put animation canceling in every single game, and I'll tell you why. Sometimes the combat has too much space in it. If you give me animation canceling in Godfall, it's going to be absolutely freaking easy mode. Right? It's going to be freaking easy mode. It's so easy to see when the attacks are coming. It's super, super easy. So, you can't give people animation canceling when the flow of combat and the aggression of the enemies is so predictable. Animation canceling belongs in a game where the combat is super fast and like super punishing. So you're like, swing, 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 and you see the glint of their sword, and the animation cancel to get out of there. But in Godfall, it's like, you don't need animation canceling. Yeah, you can use the down direction. I talk about that in the video. You didn't get a chance to watch it, Christopher. I talked about that, how like that's a new muscle memory skill set that I wanted to be forced to use. I wanted to be forced in a situation. I didn't get in any fights that made me do this. I want to be like, swing, 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 hit the button, spin around. Swing, 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 hit the button, swing around. I never got a chance to really feel the need to do that. And I was like, oh, I bet you that's really satisfying if you get further in the game and you have to do that. You have to figure out how to navigate, like, getting control of the area by doing quick spins. It never really put me in that position. So, if they would have had button queuing at launch and no animation canceling, people might have said, yeah, I really wish there was animation canceling, but I think they'd have been able to get over it. Tons of games don't do animation canceling. There are plenty of games. Like Hellblade has animation canceling. Ghost of Tsushima, as far as I could tell, it doesn't have animation canceling. You can't just stop yourself in the middle of something. You're in. You did it. You press the buttons, and now you're doing it. You got to wait until it's over. It might have... Does it have animation canceling, Eugene? Am I dreaming? I don't think it does. Hellblade, it's like, you can be mid-swing, and then bing, she can, like, block. Like, instantly. Like, it's instantaneous. Yo, Freddy upgraded his membership to a gaming tier 3. Listen, if you don't have a paid membership here or on the other channel, we need you to consider doing one, all right? You can click join here or over there, use the join command. We need everybody to have a membership somewhere, if you can do it. I don't think I've ever intentionally used quick spins in a game. Right, me either. It might have for the dodge. Is there animation canceling in Ghost of Tsushima, Eugene? I don't think there is. I think you just have to get good at knowing when to commit and when not. Lono loves a game without animation canceling. You have to understand something, Robert. I have never, ever got out the drum and banged on it for animation canceling. I bang on the drum of damage mitigation. You have to empower me to mitigate the damage. If I can't mitigate the damage, then frick your game. If I have to stand there and face tank and there's like intrinsic need to constantly heal, get out of here. That's a meat grinder. That's a face tanky meat grinder. I don't want to do that. I don't want to play that. Yeah, there's no animation canceling in Ghost. You overswing and you get hit. And I think that that's fair in a game like Ghost of Tsushima. I think it works. You know when you did the wrong thing. You know when you overstepped, especially in a duel. Oh boy, do you know when you get greedy in a duel or you misread. Oh, it hurts. You know? It gives you too many tools to have cancellation. That's right. That's right. Because especially, oh my gosh, you end up being very overpowered in Ghost of Tsushima. Once you have like all the skills and the abilities and the parry windows are so big and the as long as you're holding the button, you automatically block and parry. Like, come on. You don't need animation canceling in Ghost of Tsushima. There is no animation cancel for Ghost of Tsushima. There is animation cancel in Genshin, for example. Mitigation is definitely your drum. That's right. That's the intentionality and the penalty for the mistake games need. I have absolutely no problem with saying you overstepped and got greedy. Wham! And you just get blasted for it. No problem for that. But don't you dare make me stand there and take a beating as part of the game's design. I can't stand that. Right? I can't stand that. I cannot stand you just got to stand there and take a beating, you know? I don't think that's not good game design. I played games where they do that because everything's intrinsically dropping health and you're like, bling, got my health back. Bling, got my health back. Like, you're supposed to take damage. I can't stand that. No. Let me finesse the fight to the point that I become untouchable. That's what I want. If I commit and I put in the time, I want to be able to walk away from a fight and say, oh yeah, they didn't touch me. You know? I did that in that game called Fist, that little side scroller with the rabbit. Even on hard, after about 5 hours, I never struggled against something again. You get too many skills. Yeah. You know what somebody needs to do in that game, Eugene? This is what somebody needs to do. You can unlock the stances. That's fine. I'll let you unlock the stances. No skills. No skills lethal run. Holy frick. That would be unbelievably hard. You can unlock each of the 4 stances, but you can't buy any of the skills. You can't buy any of the ghost of things. Nothing. It's just you, your sword, 4 stances, and that's it. That's all you get. You can level up all the other stuff. Like you can put on charms and you can get your resolve and your health leveled up. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. Go out and get all those things, right? Yo, my man, Fat Steven Seagal, another member. Let's go. Let's get a member train going. Hit that join button. Thank you, man. Enjoy the dope badge and emotes. You're dope and deserve dope stuff. I want to see that. I was discussing this with Creature last night. We were thinking through like doing series content, how to do it. And I'm like, I would love to do that. I don't know when I would have time to do it though. Like just play through that game on lethal and set up a bunch of rules. It'd be freaking awful. And I'd get angry and I'd get salty. That would be awesome. How do you create something like that? Like, it has that demand. Like, you gotta be there to watch it. Like, we were talking about that. Like, maybe I stream it. And I'm like, well, when am I gonna friggin' stream it? You know, we're trying to play new games all the time. I'm thinking through. I really want to do stuff like that. I really want to take a game like we would take Ghost, we could take Ratchet and Clank, we could take Ori and the Will of the Wisps, put it on the hardest friggin' difficulty, and make a bunch of rules to be like, you're not allowed to upgrade anything. You just got to play through with nothing. So essentially an easier Dark Souls, no dodge, no hit to level up run. Lethal would make some things easier, I feel. Really? I mean, something like that, Wheezy. Yeah, the idea of like, I love this game, let's do something creative with it. Let's do something that no one's doing. Let's do something that you know, people are going to want to tune in and watch. Like, that's what I'm trying to think through. Having more of a POV for gameplay, having more of an identity. Like, what's my identity in POV? Like, what do you want to see me do? I have to admit, this has been true. When I worked at AT&T, this was true. People like to see me get mad. People like to see me get mad, and I don't know why. It's entertaining to see me get ranty and angry and salty, and I don't know. I have no idea why, right? But if we lean into that, we might be onto something. You know, you got the talk show, we got new relevant gameplay, and then we got frick this frickin' game. Frick this frickin' game. Welcome to another episode of Frick This Frickin' Game, where I say, frick this frickin' game. Like, take me to the breaking point. Yo, Russell Stewart. Russell Stewart, thank you so much for the membership. Enjoy the dope badge and emotes. You're dope and deserve dope stuff. Because you little guys are so animated when you get mad. Oh, that's what it is? It's because I'm small? What am I? What am I? What, am I a squirrel to you? Is that what I am? I'm like a little squirrel running around getting angry? Is that it? You know, am I shifty? Frick this frickin' game. What kind of monster would enjoy your pain? No. Zubair, say yes to rage. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just rebrand it all. Say yes to rage. Welcome to another episode of Say YTR or SYTR. SNTR just kind of rolls off the tongue though, you know. A little squirrel that forgot about the parking brake. What do you mean parking brake? I forgot about the parking brake. What? What parking brake? What do you mean? When did I forget about the parking brake? What story are you referring to? It's so like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah. What story are you referencing? Oh, the bus simulator. Listen, I forgot. It had been 30 seconds, right? It had been 30 seconds. Say maybe to rage, that's right. Lono's more of a gnome. I'm not a no. Keemstar is the gnome. Let him own that, right? Let him own that, you know? The pointy beard and the bald head that he hides with a hat. He's the gnome, not me. Can you tell me how SNTR name came about? You know, Say No to Rage was born out of the idea that I played a lot of Call of Duty, and I raged like crazy. And I came to an epiphany that it was awful, and so I started blogging and doing videos about, like, Say No to Rage was the name I came up with. I was about to say he can't drive a stick. He can't reach both pedals at the same time. You see, like, humor goes too far. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's going too far. I'm not that short. Like, there are people shorter than me that can drive a car. You know what I'm saying? You make it sound like I'm 3 feet tall. like I'm like this anomalous human being, you know? I'm this anomalous human being. I'm 3 feet tall. I can't drive a car. But I'm thinking about those kinds of things, like, not just you guys, right? Not just you guys, but what would people enjoy watching? Because there's the general public that's looking for gameplay, and we offer that. Here's the first couple hours of Deathloop. Here's New World, right? And those videos, you know, can and have done well enough, okay? And that's great. That's great. But I'm trying to think through Like, what identity, what DNA, what personality trait can I inject into gameplay more regularly, right? Would you say that joke was laughable? You really are. You really are. you really are a smug son of a gun. Like, you're lucky you have rapport with me. If you didn't have rapport with me, I'd be like, get this smug SOB out of here. Just get him out of here. You know what's funny is people think I had a boss. He talk like this, man. Come on, man. We got to rally. We got to get things back in order, man. Get on the phone and call downtown. Tell them we need more stuff. That's how he talked. And he and I had a long relationship, friendship, and rapport. And I would get kind of mouthy with him. I'm like, dude, come on. We all know this is stupid. We know this is stupid. We're not doing this. Right. And he called me back in the office one day. He's like, look, man. Yeah, I can't be having these other people in here talking to me the way you talk to me. You and I have like a thing. He's like, they can't talk to me like that. So he told me, he's like, you want to come back here, you want to rant, you want to get it out of your system, that's fine, but you can't be doing it out there in front of the other sales reps. He was a good guy. It was a sucky job, man. Retail sucks. It sucks for everybody. It sucks for the managers. It sucks for the sales reps. We made the best of it. I had coffee with my friend the other day, and he was saying that his daughters loved working at Starbucks. And I was like, oh, they like coffee? He's like, no, not really. He's like, they just love the environment. They love their coworkers. I said, I'm telling you right now, your coworkers can make a bad job the best job. It's true, right? It's true. I worked at AT&T in the back of the mall, and we were miserable. It was no foot traffic, no sales. They were always on us. Like, you got to really drive sales. Like, what am I going to do? You want me to walk around the mall with, like, a bell? Like, ding, 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 ding. Like, hey, we're down here on the other end of the mall, you know? And, but the people I worked with, they were incredible. They were great. And it made all the difference in the world. They made all the difference in the world. I don't understand how these people are talking in chat and they're not hitting my dashboard on the subscribe. It doesn't make any sense at all. Swear. I swear. We're going to launch that 99-cent membership and just make members and just make chat members only. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're at least going to pay me if you're going to spam my chat. You're going to pay me. You're going to pay me $1. Yeah, the hot people are back. The sauna chat rooms. Studies have shown the two largest drivers of employee engagement is the relationships with your boss and your coworkers. I'm telling you, we had a blast every single day, and the job absolutely sucked. It was terrible. You know? These other Noisy Orchid, thank you for coming in and doing a membership. Enjoy the dope badge and emotes. You're dope and deserve dope stuff. Thank you. I'd buy that for $1. All right, I'm pulling chat right now. If you're lurking and you're listening, okay? If you're lurking and you're listening, would you do a dollar member just to talk in chat? Would you do it? Or is that or do you think that's not? You think that's out of the question? How many people would do it? You're like, yeah, I would do it. Now the rest of you, you're not allowed to downgrade, okay? You're not allowed to downgrade. You are not allowed to downgrade, okay? Come out of lurk and let me know. No. If you already have a membership, be quiet. I don't want you downgrading. I need you to stay where you are. Be quiet, Roger. Be quiet. You're not allowed to answer the question. You already have a badge. I'm already drowned. Yeah, of course you would, Wheezy. Of course you would. Frick. $5 from Rage. Dying Light will be dying on arrival if it comes out around Elden Ring. Yes, indeed. Nope. Yup. No. Yeah. Would do it. Probably. I don't mind paying $1 just to lurk. Huh. I'm downgrading on both channels. Oh, man. Come on, dude. Come on. No, sorry. Thank you. No, I want you to be honest. Irene and Vorian said no. Okay. If chat was nothing but yeses, I would pull the trigger. But there's enough people saying no. Yeah, there's enough people saying no. Probably shouldn't do it. The beauty of a live stream is that you show up and can just say, hey, I think you're an idiot. Like, that's what we need. We can't take that away. Craig says, absolutely outrageous. I'll pay you no less than 5. Thank you, Craig. I appreciate that. That's good. That's good. That's classic. That's a more classic humor. You know, that's black and white. That's black and white movie humor. I love the old style. You know, I was watching Martin Short was on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee recently, and boy is he sharp. Boy is he sharp. So quick-witted. He's gonna be 90 and he's gonna be faster than you on his feet. Just so sharp. And he's letting the waitress is taking the plates away. Are you done with that? Yes, you know, and cup or whatever. And she picks up a plate and it accidentally grabs like the fake flowers. And without skipping a beat, he's like, yeah, take the flowers too. We don't want them. Like, just right on the nose. Bam! Perfectly timed, perfectly delivered. Oh, I envy that. I'm like, man, to be that fast, to be that quick on your feet. Just brilliant. Just brilliant. Yeah, rip Norm Macdonald. One of the greats. One of the greats. I just watched his episode recently on Comedians in Cars. And, man, that's sad. Very, very sad. 61. Way too young, you know? Jerry would say, well, that's enough of him. Like, they had a rapport, and he said that they think that you should joke when a comedian dies. And Jerry's like, that's what you should say. Well, that was enough of him. And I think Jerry could say it in good spirit and miss his friend, you know. Are we organizing a Lono member protest and boycott? Yeah. Not to alarm you, but you got something on your face. What is that? I only have you on like the radio in the background when I work from home, so silent lurker mostly. No, we're just thinking through. We're just thinking through. I'm not going to do that. We are considering doing a low tier membership just for maybe the question command, but even then, we want to be careful. We like what we have. We like you guys. We think that you know, things are going in a good direction. We're just always thinking through, like, I want to do something that the beauty of SNTR Presents and how we covered a particular game was that nobody else was doing that. So I was like, you're only going to get this here. Other people tried to replicate it, and it was freaking embarrassing. They tried to replicate it in the months that followed, and even then they had to pivot to other things because it was like, this is copy, right? This is bad. So I'm just thinking through, can we do that with gameplay, right? You're not going to be able to find a gaming talk show necessarily like this one. The back and forth, the Q&A, the integration of chat commentary right on the screen, like almost instantaneous. Like, we're trying to craft that show in a way that it's me, it's my identity, it's my DNA, you know. I lurk, but I buy the coffee. You do, Jerichide. Thank you. I'm not thinking about, oh my gosh, we got a bunch of coffee orders. Holy moly. Hang on a second. 3 coffee orders came through. I didn't shout them out. You guys are amazing. It was like 20 minutes ago. A bag of light roast to Master Ty. Thank you, Master Ty. A bag of dark and a bag of light to Uninformed Gamer. That's the way to do it. And then 1 bag of light, 1 bag of dark to Dad Not Good. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. I appreciate it very, very much. You can always buy 3. That's before shipping tips over. Buy a bag of dark, buy a bag of light, buy an extra one, and then give it to a friend, right? Give it to a friend and tell him. Go to ragelessroast.com if you want more. Get them hooked. That's how you get them hooked, right? You give them, that's a free sample. It's on the house. And they're like, this is so good. Well, now you got to buy the rest. You want more, you got to pay. Membership is good. Barrier is good for Q&A, but now that you switch channels, I don't like the idea. Right, because then you're like, well, I want to keep my badge over there. Right. Yeah. Y'all couldn't wait for coffee until after Returnal. We had a chance of hangry salt and tears. Now he gets to eat. Hey, Eugene is so cruel. He's cruel. He's like, no, I don't just want him playing Returnal and trying to get past Biome 3. I want him to be hangry. Don't feed him. Let it really get him riled up, right? Really starve him, you know. Can tell Lono was a sales rep. Well, I was, but I didn't. I hated it. I hated selling. My mom was like, you should be in insurance. I was like, but I I hate selling. I hate it. I don't want to do it. But you're good at it. So what? You know? You can be good at a lot of things. I've been making the light roast in my French press. Absolutely love it. Oh, I'm glad. So you're reordering. Man, when I see reorders, that's very encouraging and exciting. Thank you. Appreciate it. My family loves it. My family appreciates it. We really, really do. Thank you. That is, we've taken a lot of hits. I mean, it is, I waffle from despair to excitement, every 20 minutes. And the coffee has been like, okay, this is working. This is working. We don't have a clue what the frick we're doing tomorrow. Everything is bad, but the coffee is working. Have you thought about doing gameplay maybe an hour earlier? It gives you some more freedom and can grab a hold of people starting lunches at work, etc. Yeah, there's a dilemma that we're facing with this show, let me tell you. And I think we go too long. And I know. We used to do a 6-hour show, and now it's a 4-hour show. Maybe we need to lower it. Creature's getting heartburn. It's just hard. It's hard. Okay? When someone does a stand-up act, there's parameters, right? You can't go beyond this or it ain't gonna work, right? Movies, same deal. A podcast that's longer than The Lord of the Rings? If this was hypothetically speaking, I'm not going to do this to you because the poor lurkers are like, please no, you've taken so much from us. You used to broadcast for 6 hours, and now around lunchtime I have to find something else to do with my time. Like I know. The lurkers are having a heart attack right now. They're like, please no, Lono, we've lost so much. Please don't take any more. But hypothetically speaking, 2 hours we go boom, boom, boom. And then the video could take off and have a little bit more velocity. 4 hours? No, it's too long. Video's dead in the water after we're done. Deckard Cain, is that you? Stay a while and listen. The Herodric cube will help us defeat Diablo. You just wanted me to do a Deckard Cain. I can't resist. And it would, it would open up a lot, wouldn't it? It would open up a lot. 2 hours this, 2 hours gameplay, and then this series idea I have, we could go do that. I don't know. 3 hours then, nice compromise. This is the dilemma. There's a ton of you that love the show. You love it. You're a member. You love the radio show. You're here. You're faithful. And if we trim it back anymore, you're going to be like, I don't know about this guy. I don't know what to tell you, man. We need YouTube to step into the ring and make some changes and updates so we can be like, aha, like now we can, now we can align ourselves and do blah, 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 or blah, 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 blah. All I know is the streams that get the most velocity are gameplay, and they're about 2 hours. That's all I know. Once you go as long as we do, YouTube's like, what the frick is this? What do we do with this? It's a feature film. It's 4 hours long. What do we do with this thing? Where do I put it? Put it in the bathroom. Like put it back there. Put it back there. Make it 3 hours and 30. Yeah, there's a science to it, right? Yeah, maybe you shave it back, and then all of a sudden it's light enough to get some. I don't know. I love doing the show with you guys. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm just being honest with you. Like, some days when the topic is tight, we go for 2 hours. I blink and I'm like, oh my gosh, we just debated like pricing structure of video games for 2 hours. Holy frick! And then there's times like this morning where it's like, we can't talk about this for more than an hour. Now we're done. And that's okay. It's a lot easier to stomach when the show ain't 4 hours. Isn't it? I generally am able to watch in the morning on my way to work and then my drive home. Love the length, but totally understand you have to do what's best for the brand. I'm not making any decisions right now. We don't want to make any changes. We want to follow a predictable content rhythm for a while because we haven't been able to do that. We've had to keep making like emergency like pull of rip cords because we're like, what the frick are we gonna do? You know. Johnny Coffee Cakes is already in the bathroom. Yeah, put him in the bathroom. I don't even want to see him. What does someone like Tim do, or does that matter? No, when you're that big, it doesn't freaking matter. Do you want to know what everybody else does? Do you want to know what everybody else does? We can't do what everybody else does. They unlist the stream. We can't do that. Because they do that because they're an upload channel. We're not an upload channel. We're a live stream channel. And right now, we're waiting for YouTube to say, here's the future path, here's the structure, here's all the changes that we've made for live shows. We don't have a place. You know what I mean? We don't have a place. Like a live talk show, it doesn't really have a place. It's good. That's the only reason we keep doing it. You know that, right? Like, you guys love it. I love it. It's a good show. It's a good product. That's why we keep doing it. It's a really good product, and it's sitting in the wrong part of the store, ultimately, is what it is. You know? It needs to be out on the end cap. Probably get more non-live views with a shorter stream. You can catch up on a 2-hour podcast. If I miss a day, it's gone. Right. I think you should put the typical YouTube format. 10-minute videos covering AAA titles on the channel with most subs. Well, no, we can't do that. No. We're growing the channel that has that, by the way. There is a channel that has that. Little 4-minute, you know what I mean? 4-minute uploads. Those are going well. It's better to delay a good game right now than have a crap game. Oh, I agree with you. I just think it's going to hurt. Right? I don't think February is good because there's already so many games that have been announced for February. It makes it crowded. That was one of the points I made in the video. I said, boy, oh boy, February is full. I said it's the new December. February is the new December for video games. Now, Eugene pointed out that traditionally speaking, February is actually a pretty popular month for game launches because everybody kind of goes quiet in January and they're like, hey, you ready to spend money again? And then they start launching in February. That's actually pretty common. So the February launch window is actually traditionally pretty popular. It's even more popular now because people are like, well, if we're not going to land in December, next best thing is February. And that gets them in before the fiscal year ends. And then after that, you get into, March, April are probably pretty big as well. Ramp up before the fiscal year ends. And then the summer is sort of a waiting period. It's like after you get out of that, and you're into a new fiscal year, a month or two goes by, boom, and then they start hitting you with titles. Like June and July. And then August, things tend to calm down a little bit. September, it starts to ramp up again, ramp up. And then the holidays. You know what I mean? 361 watching, only 355 likes. Smash it. Thank you, Steven Seagal. I'm sorry, Fat Steven Seagal. Smash those likes, guys. We only need 45 more to roll it over. Wait, you said only 355 likes. I think it's 255 likes. You're getting a little ahead of yourself. 4 huge titles with a 5th right before at the end of January. That's right. Everyone's waiting for February for all these games, and I'm just sitting here waiting for Farm Simulator in November. Can I admit something to you guys? I really like these sim games, and I don't know what to do about it. I was playing Gas Station Simulator last night, and I was like, I don't want to turn the video off. I want to keep going. I have a customer. I want to paint the interior of the gas station. I just got the trash out. I just cleaned up the floor. I just painted the outside walls. Come on, man. Like, I don't want to turn this off. I don't know what to do with it. Because they're comfy? Yeah, I don't know what to do with it. I really, really don't. You know what's funny? You know what they all have in common? All these sim games have something in common. Do you want to know what it is? Hillbilly Jack should play them. Like, that's what they all have in common. Bring him out of retirement and do a whole channel of nothing but him playing sim games. Oh my gosh. I need to be, if I could clone myself. I told Grisha last night, I got another idea for another channel. We can't do it. I hate that it's in my brain because I can't do anything with it. I'm not going to tell you this one either. I'm going to tuck this one away because it's good. It's real good. If cloning technology becomes a thing, I mean, we'll pull the trigger on it. We will. I'm a farmer for real. That's my income. But I love farm sim games. See, that to me is shocking. You know, like a taxi cab driver going home and playing Taxi Cab Simulator. Like, what? Really? You know? But I guess it's probably therapeutic. You know. You can yell at the customers and they can't yell back. It's just a video game. You know what I mean? Talk show host simulator. That's right. That's what I'm doing right now. And for my next guest, we have and I pull a comment up. You know, I would watch the crap out of HBJ playing sim games. I love him. I love HBJ. I think he was one of the most well-rounded ideas I'd ever had. It was well-rounded. He had his own sayings. He had his own identity. He had his own thing. It wasn't just a country. It wasn't just an accent. It was a full-blown character. You know, what time does your stream start? This stream starts in the morning between 8:30 and 8:40 a.m. Eastern. Just depends on my morning, right? How about a comedian simulator? Oh, I have a hilarious idea for a show with Jerry Seinfeld. I want to pitch him this show so freaking bad. I want to pitch him this show because he was sitting down with Steve Harvey and they said, you can't teach this. And I thought, let's put that to the test. There's your show. You would call the show Being Funny with Jerry Seinfeld. That would be the title of the show. Okay? Jerry, if this ever gets sent to you, I want royalties. Being Funny with Jerry Seinfeld. And what he would do, it would be fake. Okay? It would be a mockumentary style show. And what you would do is you would take a guy who thinks he can be funny with the help of Jerry and all these other comedians. And so you'd have all these setups where he'd like meet with a comedian. The comedian would give him advice. And the advice would be genuine. It would actually be good because people love to hear comedians talk about the craft of comedy. So there would be that value point of like, you're actually hearing genuine, honest, good ideas and feedback about comedy. Okay? And then the guy would try to implement it. He would try to put it into his act. But it wouldn't work. It would be a gag the whole time. It'd be this mockumentary of like, you being funny. You can't teach being funny. You either are funny or you aren't, and they would set out to try to prove the theory wrong or incorrect. And you would basically run the circuit back through all the people that he interviewed for Comedians in Cars, and this would be almost like a spin-off. It'd be a spin-off from Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. It would be called Being Funny with Jerry Seinfeld. Didn't he do that with Jason Alexander already? What do they call it? I would love to watch it. Did they do something like that with Jason Alexander? Jerry's been pretty consistent that people that need to be taught will never be funny. I know, and he needs to make a show out of it. Number one, it would prove his point. Number two, it would be hilarious if you did it in a mockumentary style way. Get Ricky Gervais to help him with it because Ricky Gervais understands how to make mockumentary style content. He understands it. He broke that down. He talked about the British version of The Office and how he knew if you looked at the camera and like let them know like you're in on it, you can go further with the offense. The Seinfeld show. Oh, you were making a joke about Jason Alexander not being funny. Got it. Okay. Whoosh went over your head. Well, it didn't exactly go under my head. It kind of rolled on the floor. It kind of rolled past me. It wasn't a very good joke. A good joke can go over somebody's head. A bad joke just rolls on the floor, and I'm like, what? It was a ground roll double. You know, it wasn't a home run. It didn't go over my head. It just rolled on the ground past me. I enjoyed Dying Light 1, and I want them to take all the time they need with Dying Light 2. I am in full... Hear me out on this. You just got here, so you didn't hear me say it earlier. I actually really, really want them to delay it if they need to. I'm in full support of delays, but it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. It's their third delay. It's after making assurances it would land in December, and they're sandwiching it in between like Elden Ring and a bunch of powerhouses in February. Horizon Forbidden West, Witch Queen, Sifu, maybe not so. Maybe Sifu's not that big. Sifu might become kind of a cult classic. I really want to play that game. I'm really glad that February is full with other games. You know, why aren't you playing? Why don't you take a walk? How long could you go with a show like that, though? I feel like that's a one-and-done movie-style documentary. No, it's not. Nope. No. How many people did he interview, Deadly Dad Gaming? How many people did he interview? That's how many episodes you can do. That's how many episodes you could do. Because what you would do is every season... This is perfect. This is perfect. This is so brilliant. I want him to do it so bad, and then pay me royalties so that I can sue people that deserve it. I think what you would do is you would spend the entire season going around and doing these interviews, and then the season finale would be whoever the guy is attempting to implement everything that they said and it not working and not being funny. And the next season would be, all right, let's take another crack at this. Let's go around and let's go talk to these comedians. A new round of comedians, right? He would blame it on the comedians, like they would blame it on the material, you know. He would convince Jerry, like, no, I can be funny. We just need more time. I just need to learn more, you know. And the whole time Jerry would be saying, you can't teach this. It's not possible. Like, he wouldn't believe in the project, but he'd go along with it. Only because he wanted to prove his point. Like, Jerry loves being right so much that that's why he would be willing to do it. Do you see? Like, his own vanity and ego would play a part. Oh, I'm telling you, I think it would be hysterical. And because I think comedians in cars getting coffee, you're going to run out of steam eventually. You can't keep going back and meeting with the same comedians. Like, he did that, and it was great, but it was kind of like, okay, I think this show has run its course. I think the show has run its course. Here's the spinoff. Because clearly sitting down with these comedians is charming and people like it and they think it's interesting. They want to hear how Dave Chappelle got his start and what was it like in the early days, you know. Very interested to hear your thoughts on Deathloop. I did not watch the stream because I did not want spoilers. I played the intro last night, going to jump in tonight. Yeah, a few more likes for 300. Thank you. I'll give you my thoughts here in a moment. We're nearing the halfway point of the show, and that's usually when I'll switch over and give you my other stuff. I'm with you now. It could be like a mock talent search style show. Oh, yes. Do you see? Oh, it's just laced with brilliance. It's so laced with brilliance because you could satirize those talent shows. You could be taking shots at those reality talent shows the whole time. Oh, my gosh. You could be proving a point. You could be being funny. It's important. It's meaningful. The message could be good. You could be poking holes and satirizing like these talent shows. Oh my gosh, I need him to make this show. Have you ever had that? Have you ever had an idea like that? Like, the idea hit me and I'm like, oh, Jerry needs to do this. It's gold, Jerry. Gold. Like, he needs to do it. It would be the only thing that would really make or break the show. Okay? The only thing that would make or break the show is whoever it is they get to be like the I want to be funny guy. You'd need that guy to sell it. He would actually need to be funny in order for this to work. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work without the right guy thinking he could learn to be funny. So you'd need somebody like a good caliber of humor and acting chops. Yo, good morning, John Hall. How are you? See if you can save these on updates to their counterparts. I literally been trying to save them for hours, and I can't. Do you have them open somewhere else? That'd be the only thing, is like, make sure you don't have any browsers open anywhere else. SNTR updates. Let me log in for you here. Doing a little housekeeping here in the background. SNTR updates, or SNTRupdates.com. Yeah, something's going on because they don't even have thumbnails. It's black. What the frick? Yeah, there's definitely something going on. Which one's this one? This one's the Spider-Man one. See? YouTube must be doing stuff in the background too, because saving this thumbnail is taking way longer than usual. Significantly long. It's just like, what on earth? What on earth? It must be, YouTube must be having issues. They were having issues with live streaming. Last night, I saw people having issues. They couldn't turn monetization off. We are having trouble saving your video. Try again in 5 seconds. You've been trying for hours? Yeah. Excuse me. They must be having trouble on the back end. Giggity. They must be having trouble on the back end. Usually what they recommend is like clearing your cache, but if you're having the same trouble I'm having, then it's on their end, I would assume. Yeah, it's not letting me do it. It's unfortunate too, because man, those are really, really good thumbnails. Holy frick, those are great. It says retrying in 5 seconds. Okay, I'm just going to let that one go. It's just going to keep retrying. Maybe one day it'll stick. And then I'll try the Wolverine one at the same time. Do this, do this, do this, and save. Can't push the schedule either. It's going to premiere at 11. We're not able to save your video. Yeah, they're here. The only thing I could think is, let me try something. Let me try something. Let me try this. Just going to add a period and click save. Okay, that worked. Okay, that worked. It's saved there. So this one's Spider-Man 2, and then I'm going to take the period away and click save. Let's see if that doesn't, like, jar it, you know? Jar it into submission. What the frick is going on with YouTube these days, man? I'm discussing with myself that I even wrote that. Oppenheimer's plans. Oh my gosh. Like a comedian version of Michael Scott. Yes. Yes. It would need to be something like that. It would need to be something like that. The only way that you would get away with it is that it would have to be, right? It would have to be this sort of, you know, it would have to be the guy he's the right caliber of actor, right? What if we just change the thumbnail? No, it's not even letting me change the thumbnail to one of the other default thumbnails. It's not possible. It just keeps saying retrying. Yeah. They are, man, are they having some trouble. They must be having some serious trouble on the back end. It won't, yeah, just won't let me do it. What if I load the thumbnail in and then add a period? Load the thumbnail in and then add a period. I don't know. For any of those who do not know, today is SNTR Update's first birthday. It loves subs as gifts. Today's SNTR Gaming's birthday as well. We must have launched both channels on the same day. So we launched Gaming the same day we launched the Upload channel. Yeah, it just will not save. You know? Only thing you could try is you could try going incognito. I don't know. That's the only thing I could think is going incognito and seeing if that doesn't trigger it. Copy password. Let's try that. It's like, open up the app and pick a number. Pick a number. Hey, somebody else ordered some coffee. Thank you so much. Too dark and a light to Casey. Man, it always puts me in such a good mood when you guys order so much coffee. Thank you so much. Man, that puts some pep in my step, chat. Okay. You're trying to log in. Is this okay? Yes, it's fine. Okay, we'll proceed. All right, let's try this. I'm gonna try it incognito, creature. Let's try it incognita. It's probably not gonna work. Because if they're having a back-end problem, it doesn't have an issue with my browser. If it's happening to you and it's happening to me. Go ahead with the show. Yeah. You were getting desperate. I understand. Yeah, it's still doing it. It's just spinning. Just spinning. That's a bummer, dude. You made some killer thumbnails, and YouTube's clearly just, crap in the bed. That's because you can eat now? That's right. You already got your birthday TV? Well, I can't have another one? Why can't I have another one? I had this user on this channel. I just don't understand. They're not... Whoever that is, they're not hitting the dashboard. I'm going to make you wait a minute. You know what? Frick you. I'm going to see your account name so I can officially report you. I'm changing it. You now need to be subbed for 1 minute. So you will have to hit my dashboard, and I'll hand it off to the YouTube admins. There you go. You now have to wait a minute before you can talk in my chat after subbing. So... Frick you frickin' frick. Go ahead. I'll be able to hand off your official account name to the admins, because whoever you are, like, I'm done with you. You're getting in. You're probably clicking subs, spamming, and then unsubbing, so it never hits my dashboard. Well, joke's on you now. I'm getting a little tired. Hi, I'm new. Welcome. Thank you so much for being new. Yeah, you didn't hit my dashboard either. YouTube's being weird. YouTube's being absolutely weird. Frickety frick. The accounts have been making the rounds on every channel I've watched. Yeah, this is something that I've never understood. So, when someone is doing that, there's a pattern that emerges. How can the Google global moderators, like, you can't see that pattern and go run a script? Anybody using that username, snag them as soon as they do it, right? Snag them as soon as they do it. Like that would be, I don't know. That would be my mindset on it, is just as soon as the pattern emerges, you should be able to nail these people. They're doing it on purple, right? They'll make 100 accounts in a blink of an eye, and they all have very, very similar usernames. How are you and the fam today? Not great. My daughter had a dentist appointment, and they're telling us that we need to go see an orthodontist. So, the worst thing you want to hear as a parent, you're like, yay, more expenses. Can't wait. My daughter's been losing teeth, and the one got loose, and then it got shoved sideways by the one coming in. I'm like, can you just pop out of there? And apparently they don't want to, I don't know, they don't want to pull it. She shouldn't even have all of her baby teeth gone. They want her to see an orthodontist. I'm like, cool. Welcome to all the new people. We're glad you're here. That's right, we are. We are glad you're here. Make sure and smash the like button, the subscribe button, and all the things. Oh, and check this action out. If you've enjoyed today's stream, be sure to hit subscribe and the like button, and be sure to stick around. We'll be talking about my first impressions of Deathloop, as well as Godfall, and why I think it's better now. Yeah. That's good. That's good stuff. Did you see my previous text? YouTube sent me a poll asking about their notification system. I picked the lowest rating. I hardly ever get yours. When I do, it's way late. Oh, yeah. The notification system's awful. It's bad. I feel you're a man. My daughter tore her rotator cuff and needs surgery. Being a parent's hard. Oh, gosh. Yes. It just stinks. It's amazing, but at the same time, it stinks. Sorry we were unable to save your video. All right, I'm giving up. Incognito didn't work either. They're going to have to fix something. Take care of that. But baby tooth still, because adult tooth impacted, growing sideways, because we didn't address it. It was when I was a kid, and now it's like a $10,000 fix. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll fix it. We're not going to ignore it. It's just like, great, you know? I got put in the hospital. I had a friggin' giant bill, and then, you know, now this, you know? You know what I mean? What's going on with today's numbers? What do you mean? They're not fluctuating on my end. They look fine. They look fine for where we are. Unable to display videos. Yeah, YouTube's having all kind of nonsense going on in the background. Yeah. Yeah, he's been lip syncing the whole time. I have. All right. We're at the 2-hour mark, and so I've got other things I want to talk with you guys about. My Deathloop first impressions, why I think Godfall is good now, but it's got a long way to go. I'm going to take a brief break. I'll be right back. Thank you guys so much for your support, and use all the commands down in the corner. You might see some ads. If you don't, no worries. Smash like, subscribe, all the things. I'll be right back. If you're enjoying today's stream, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell button so you don't miss the next one, and give that like button a smash. I am back, Brown Babby. Thank you so much for doing a membership. Appreciate that. Enjoy the dope badge and emotes. You're dope and deserve dope stuff. 4 new members today. Thank you, everybody who has either decided to double dip or move their membership over here. We greatly appreciate that. We need those members. I really want to stress that. The membership movement or re-up or all that, it slowed down a little bit, and I think it's because people are just like, well, I'll just keep it over here, and that's fine. And as long as you're keeping it, that's all. That's all. Because we're still continuing. Those premieres over there have been really, really fun that we've been doing, and I have another one for you today. I have the premiere of Gas Station Simulator. I want the... Yeah, this will work. Say, I want the Deathloop trailer. I always want to give the viewership to the official channels, not the freaking, like, stupid channels that just repost. I hate that. I don't want to give them my viewership. Angry Reaper upgraded to a Tier 2. Thank you so much. Tier 2 members, you can do video game voting. That's why I played Godfall. That's why I'm playing Returnal this afternoon. All right? You can do video game voting. You can do it two ways. One of two ways. You can get into the Discord and go to the video game voting rooms and do it. Or you can go into the community posts I do for Tier 2 members and above. You're the only ones that can see them. Those posts happen once a week, and then you cast your vote as a comment. Very, very easy. You see the 4 lists, and you cast 4 votes with just like a letter and a number, like A1, like it's like A1 through A5, B1 through B5, and you just pick one from each list. So that's why we're playing Returnal today. That's why I played Godfall. What did we play Monday? Wasn't Monday? Monday was another one too that you guys requested, wasn't it? Tales of Arise. Tales of Arise was on Monday. That was a request from you guys, and we appreciate that. So thank you for doing that. Make sure and support all the other channels too. If you like shorts, there's SNTR Shorts. SNTR Updates is where the little 4-minute videos hit. SNTR Gaming right here is the main hub for the talk shows, the live gameplay, and then SNTR Presents is being used now to show off new gameplay, and then the streams with me and Hilly on Friday night. So there's a reason to be subbed to all 4 channels if the content on each channel is hits you where you like it. Am I the only one that thinks Chair is a girl? Why would you think that? You know? Why would you think that? What about the chair makes you think that? Like a boat. Oh, yeah. You have to refer to it as a she. 100%. 100%. Sorry, chair is a lady. She's a lady. That's right. There was an anthropologist on Rogan explaining how the modern diet is the cause of most people who need braces. A change in food can change the shape of a child's jaw. Too long didn't read. Our food is too soft. Really? So, like, are we completing Surgeon this week? I don't know, Hilly. I worry that the luster fades so quick. I saw a review from The Gamer, and they literally said exactly what we said. The game is a blast when you're doing surgery. It doesn't really work as a puzzle game. Like, when you're trying to solve the puzzles, it just ends up being really, really frustrating and really, really sloppy. It isn't enjoyable. They said the same thing we've said. So I'm worried that the veneer is faded. I don't know if PvP would be good for 4 hours, or 3 hours, right? So for 3 hours, do we just rock out the PvP and see how it goes? Do we roll the dice on it? I don't know if there's any other really good co-op games right now for us to play that would give us that vibe and that laid-back feel, you know? I don't know. I've looked and looked, and, you know, to see if there's anything out there that we could kind of run through together. We need games that are fun to watch, but also like they need to breathe. You know, they need to breathe. We need those moments to just stop and laugh and be stupid, which, you know, Dead Space offered that, but then again, Dead Space started getting really sweaty and really challenging. You know what I mean? I'll look into it. Apparently, most ancient skulls had perfect teeth. That's interesting. Or did people with good teeth have a higher survivability rate, so they lived longer, and so their skeletons are more preserved? Is it a correlating factor and not a causating factor? Like, are you finding their skeletons in their older ages, 30, 40 and up, because at a hereditary level had straighter teeth and therefore lived longer lives and didn't get mouth infections and different things that could happen from crooked teeth. Like if your teeth are crooked at a young age, you probably couldn't keep your teeth clean, so you'd get an infection and then you would die, at 13, 14. I'm wondering if that's what it is, if it's a correlating factor of like, well, hereditary straight teeth, those people had a higher likelihood to live to their 20s and 30s. And that's why you're finding them with straighter teeth. The people with crooked teeth died at a younger age because the hereditary, commonality between somebody with a crooked teeth and life expectancy. The life expectancy is lower on somebody with really crooked teeth because they couldn't keep their mouths as clean. They didn't have a toothbrush. They didn't have toothpaste. He explained it as he started doing chewing exercises and it straightened his teeth. Really? I want to see more than just one person's study then on that. I'm interested. That's interesting to me. Because it could, it could be a lot of a correlating factor. Like the full-blown skeletons that you're finding and being able to study, they lived longer because, you know what I mean? Research has shown that even lack of nose, breathing, or tongue position affect jaw development and teeth position. Huh. What about a game like Satisfactory or maybe Scrap Mechanic? I don't know what you're talking about, Ashen. Not the exact numbers, but we used to spend several hours a day compared to now it's more like one. Right, it took longer to chew on stuff because you were eating, our cooking methods weren't as good, and like baking bread, their bread was probably tough, and their meats were probably tough because a lot of things were probably salted and or overcooked to ensure you don't get sick, and then everything's tough. It's like you're eating leather all day long. Oh, potential games you could play with Hilly, I was behind. Oh, like Satisfactory or maybe Scrap Mechanic. What is Satisfactory? That's the name of a game? Not sure how much we could get done in Satisfactory. Dope game. The minute there's a level of complexity to it, it doesn't work for me and Hilly. It doesn't work. It turns into Portal. And that doesn't work. We're mutating into jellyfish? Yeah, we're mutating into jellyfish. What's that? No, don't do that. Why are you doing that in here? Get out. You're pouring a drink on my desk. No, it wouldn't have been my fault. Contrary to... Never mind. Clone Drone. Can you play through the campaign co-op in Clone Drone? Clone Drone campaign co-op. That's a question. Clone Drone campaign co-op. Satisfactory is a factory building game. Totally accurate co-op robot killing in Clone Drone. Use the power of friendship and laser swords to survive as long as possible with up to 4 friends in the arena. But what about the campaign? Co-op is live. Clone Drone in the Danger Zone announced that co-op is live. Face the Danger Zone with your friends or strange humans you find on the internet. New endless difficulties. A complete visual overhaul. Split screen emotes challenges, you tell us. They posted that September. That is old. That's like 2 years old. Not to mention people who are finding the bodies for now were likely wealthy enough to afford burial that would preserve the body and thus lived a healthier lifestyle. That's what I was saying. There's a lot of correlating factors, Eugene. I haven't played Satisfactory. Not sure you would like it. we need to be able to see our characters in the game. We need to be able to see our characters in the game. Like, we have to be able to goof and see each other. Like, it doesn't work if it's like a top-down or something. You'd love to see Lono and Hilly play Overcooked. I thought Overcooked 2 would be good. But again, it gets to where, no, Overcooked 2 might work. That one might actually be funny for at least 1 or 2 play sessions, because there is a ton of content there, and the failure and the mistakes and stuff could be funny. But again, it gets to the point where, like, you're having to be organized, you're having to be thoughtful, you're having to time things. Like, you know, I just wonder if it would start to become Portal, you know. We did Human Fall Flat, and it was good. We did a couple of streams of that, and then again, it got too complicated, you know. Totally reliable delivery service. I don't know about that. What about Moving Out? That would be hilarious. Oh, Moving Out's the one where it's like ragdoll, like Human Fall Flat, and you're like taking furniture out of a house. After Chapter 3, it gets insane. If you're talking about Human Fall Flat, yeah, there was the Human Fall Flat got crazy. It just got way too complex. Like, we're moving a boat, I'm driving a boat, we're rowing, like, I don't know. Scrap Mechanic does that, and it's wacky. It's a creative puzzle game mode where you could solve it like they mean or do something insane. No, Gang Beast is like worth 15 minutes of your time to conclude that it's not. I don't like it. Scrap Mechanic. Scrap Mechanic. Oh, it's third person. Sandbox video game developed by Windows, Swedish game company. Any players can build machines, vehicles, and buildings. Yeah, this game looks like it might work. Yeah, third person, like we're building stuff. Again, how complex does it get? Do you know what I'm saying? Overcooked? Yeah, Overcooked after a couple levels just gets crazy. It's like you're not going to get anything done unless you like actually get organized. You know what I'm saying? Scrap Mechanic is on Steam. It's an early access game for $20. I'm not seeing full controller support. Where else can I play it? Because if it doesn't have full controller support, I don't want to play another freaking mouse and keyboard game. By using our website. Play now. Where all can you play it? It looks like it's a Steam game. Steam only. 5-spot from Crowcore Games. Hey, long time no see. Had a long time to think, and I'm really sorry for my actions. I know you never forgive me, but I'm truly sorry. Try Splitgate. We've done Splitgate. It gets too sweaty. Anyways, nice to see you, I suppose. I don't even know what you're apologizing for. I appreciate the 5-spot. I don't even remember what happened. I vote for Cuphead. Oh my gosh. No. Cuphead will just become nothing but frustration. That game is so hard. Scrap Mechanic could be good, but it doesn't look like it has controller support. It does not look like it has controller support on Steam. It looks like it's going to be another like mouse and keyboard thing, you know? Which I guess those games you probably have to run mouse and keyboard because you have to be so precise. You know what I mean? Yeah, we played It Takes Two. That was sort of like our Taj Mahal. A long time ago, I went on multiple accounts. I don't remember. Do you know how many people have done that? Like, a lot. So, you know, I appreciate the 5-spot and the apology. If you behave yourself, you can hang out. I did a live stream to say sorry, but at the time I kept doing. You banned me on Purple. I mean, that was a lifetime ago, homie. YouTube's being real weird today, not loading thumbnails even. Yeah, we can't change thumbnails on videos right now. Like when we go to launch our afternoon stream, I'm scared that we're not even gonna be able to do it. Like I don't know what's going on. They've got to be pushing out some kind of a UI overhaul, and it's messing with thumbnails. You know, it's got to be doing. They got to be doing something funky. You know, it seems okay for now, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm scrolling through and it seems okay, but I don't know. You were having Gmail issues? Maybe it's a Google issue as a whole? Yeah, it could be. I mean, it's all tied together to a certain extent. Yo, what's good, Ginger? You should hit this like button. That's right. My friend Peppa Pig on the Xbox Series X. Really? My friend Peppa Pig. You think me and my friend Peppa Pig? Isn't that on You want to name names? Let's name names. Oh my gosh, what's he doing? Let's name him. He says he was never banned but taking a little break. Does he actually name people though? Does he name people that he should? Boy, oh boy, he could help me out if he went public with what he knows. Peppa Pig. What do you do? It looks like it's just like a click story game. It doesn't look like you're actually doing anything. My friend Peppa Pig, coming October 22nd. He calls out this guy, but he does say names, and he talks about various other creators, but he doesn't say their names. Does he call... He needs to call out somebody for what they did, and it involves people that went after me. That's what he needs to do. If you're going to come out swinging, homie. Like, let people know. Like, let people know the truth about the guys that run the conference, and one of the women involved. Like, come on, dude. Like, light the freaking world on fire. No one's going to do it. Oh, I know. That's the only reason they're getting away with it. Like, the irony is that they're getting away with it because everyone's scared to speak up, right? Everyone's scared. You know, the people that have been really, really harmed and real wrongdoing, you know. I touched somebody's hair, you know, lit my life on fire, but actual transgressions. You want to make a 3-year-old angry, say Peppa Pig wrong twice. Yeah, at this point, that's my point. He shouldn't be scared. He shouldn't be. Just do it. Get out the freaking machete and swing it, please. Because then I can be like, that's what I've been talking about, everybody. Maybe no say name for a legal reason. If he does, he could lose his account, though. That's what they would try and claim, right? Like, if you told your story, like, people are allowed to tell you're allowed to tell your story if you're a woman, but if you're a man and you tell your story, they're going to claim you're targeting. His credibility is shot. I meant to tape shot, but that works too. Right. Yeah. Vague TOS. Oh, they would totally cash in on the vague TOS if he actually said what he knows. You know what I mean? Somebody commented, remember folks, the harder someone virtue signals, the more you need to keep an eye on them. Decent folks don't need to scream that they're decent folks. Most just mind their business. That's right. All right, let me give you my first impressions. We got to get a timestamp for this Deathloop segment. Where's my pen? Oh, there it is. Oh. Oh, that felt good. My live chat was busted. Yeah, YouTube's having some issues today. They are having some issues today. It's likely causing us some issues. I think today I was at like 30 seconds when I did the opener. I think it was like 30 seconds. I'm just going to put 30. I'm a stand-up guy and not involved in any criminal conspiracy. Further, I don't actively root for Lono's salty tears. My theory, once this stuff happens, they're rolling out updates on the back end. That's exactly what they're doing. Like, we can't change thumbnails right now, Ginger. We just can't do it. Videos are literally just going to go live on one of our channels this morning without a thumbnail. You know? We just can't do it. We're like, okay, no thumbnail, I guess. Like, all right. You know? Oh, he must have... No, he must have kicked it. He must have stalled it. Yeah. He must have stalled it. He doesn't want it to hit without a thumbnail, which is understandable. It's understandable. So, will you return to Godfall? Anytime they do an update, yeah, maybe. You know, I was thinking October is a big month for YouTube. Yeah, like they're ramping up. You get the big streamers over here, roll out a bunch of updates, and then launch gaming. You know, in anticipation of like all the big titles coming out. So, Godfall was a lot of fun. I have my thoughts on it today on how they could build it out. I have a segment that I'm going to do. Lack of crossplay is heartbreaking. Oh gosh, yeah. And make so they tell their side, but as soon as you defend yourself, yeah, that's exactly right. To leave, I had to leave early yesterday, so I didn't hear your final thoughts on Godfall. Recommend it. I'm gonna give you my thoughts here in a second. Yeah. Looking forward to your thoughts on Deathloop. I'm a huge Arcane fan, but it seems slightly different from their usual fare. Reviews have been great, though. Yeah. I'm about to do it. Let me give you... here, let's switch to this scene here, and we'll go at 2:27:30. 2:27:30. And I'm going to record just in case, creature. Let's pull this up. Here we go. Hey, thanks for watching another SNTR update. In this video, I'm going to give you my first impressions of Deathloop, and disclaimer, I thought I was going to hate it. Be sure to click subscribe and the bell button if you like these short updates, and check the link below to SNTR Gaming where I live stream Monday through Friday. So, full disclaimer, I thought I was going to hate this game. I'm not a big fan of rogues. I was never really big on Dishonored. I liked them, but then I always kind of fell out with them because I thought the stealth and the enemy AI was frustrating. That is a part of some of my criticism of this game. I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the potential, okay? So, it is very much Dishonored meets Rogue, but there's a lot more to this game that I think gives it a lot of potential. So, let's just talk about the good. I think the graphics, the style, and the tone and the setting are so on point. It's immediately in this position of really defining its own identity and making itself memorable, okay? You've not played another game that looks and feels this way. It has a similar attitude to Borderlands, but it's not like Borderlands, and it's got similar environments to like We Happy Few and BioShock, but it's not those games. And I think that's a very, very good thing for it to set out from the very beginning and to define itself its own identity. The music adds such a great vibe to the combat. It can be intense, it can be punishing, it can be a bit frustrating, and it really capstones well the established feel that the game has. The fact that they're like, hey, the music's going to kick in when you get in a fight. It's very funky. It's got a great vibe. It's kind of like when the music hits in Doom. It adds such a great layer to the game. The combat, the progression, and the linear nature to the game makes it very accessible as a rogue. It doesn't feel like a punishment, but more like an internal mechanic combined with the story and the mystery that's unraveling. Some rogues, you jump in, you die, wham, you just get slammed, and then you're like, I guess I'm back to the beginning. This is a part of the game. This is a part of how the game functions, and it's tied to the story. So that's the good. Let's talk about the bad. Enemy aim can feel a bit aimbot, and like Dishonored games, I feel that they make stealth, enemy awareness, and enemy sight lines and accuracy a little bit cheap. It just feels like the enemies are gods no matter what their level is. You're supposed to look at them and be like, oh, are they good at aiming? Are they not? It never felt like there was any much variety in the enemies. If they saw me, they shot and didn't miss. It feels like they see you super easy. They're aware of you super easy. Like their cone of vision seems to literally be 180 degrees instead of like 90. I always felt that way in Dishonored as well. It was like they could see you far too easily. Even on the PS5, I was noticing some hitching and performance issues with respect to frame rate. I actually had to put the game on performance mode just to maintain good frames, and even still, there were times that there were frame drops. The PC version is apparently experiencing a batch of performance problems, which is hurting its review scores there. They're a little bit more mixed than the general public who has reviewed it and given it a lot of praise. I want to end with the potential. As a franchise, I could see them really establishing this on the game going forward with more experiences, more bosses, more areas, and maybe even more modes. I definitely felt the pull to jump back in and progress the story, more than anything, mainly because it's an interesting story and the voice acting is superb. Like, I'm interested. I want to know what's going on. I want to know what's happening. They did a very good job of laying that groundwork in the beginning. The rogue element certainly puts them into a position to create more content and even develop a sequel if the story resolves itself in a way for more. So for now, after about 2.5 hours, I can give it a light recommendation outlining the good and the bad for you to maybe check it out if you want. Again, highly recommend maybe avoiding PC for now, but all in all, I think this is a solid start for a brand new franchise. As always, if you like these short uploads, click subscribe and the bell button, and I'll see you in the next one. I was nervous during that entire recording because my CPU usage was so freaking high because I changed the recording to fast 8000, and boy oh boy did it use a lot more CPU. So I'm going to drop it back to fast for medium and lower the bitrate. That made me so freaking nervous. A $10 tip from MJ Talks. I had to reevaluate my interaction with my coworkers after seeing what happened to you. I work with 98% female, and I'm 6'2", and very muscular. They touch me all the time, and people look at me funny when I say no. It's a new era, man. It's a new era. Jerry jokes about it in a couple of the episodes on Comedians in Cars, like the new rules. Like, you just, yeah, you got to be like doubly careful now, you know? You just do. Well, just don't be a jerk. No, it's not that simple. It's not that simple. You have to treat everybody as if they could ruin your life. Like, that's literally what you have to do now, you know. Whether it's a joke or a comment or even a pass, you have to act like they could ruin my life. I saw way too much lag on my friend's PC playthrough. Yeah. It's the PC version is having a lot of issues. People are saying there's a lot of performance issues with it. Yo, what's good, Ross? Do you like city builders? No, I really don't. If there's a really big one and a new one and it's super relevant, I'll play it to show it off to you guys. But generally speaking, I do not. I don't go there. Take my approach and be troll-like, and nobody will want to touch you. They won't be able to stand next to you either. That's right. That's right. Funny thing is, I actually think enemies' cone of vision is really narrow. Not in Deathloop, it's not. I would be next to a guy and he would start to see me. Like, I was standing next to him, like on his shoulder, and he could see me. It was like ding, 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 ding. I'm like, I'm not in front of him. I'm next to him. Now, I know in real life, if I went and stood next to a guy, he would know I was there. But it's a video game. You know what I mean? To me, Deathloop seems more like a first-person puzzle game rather than an actual shooter. I think the AI is supposed to be kind of dumb, if that makes sense. I felt like the AI was not dumb. I felt like they were pretty ruthless. A Bethesda game, crappily optimized for PC? Color me shocked and surprised. I hope Game Pass comes to PlayStation. I don't know about that. I'm having a different experience with stealth than you. See, people always say this. They said this about Dishonored, and I'm like, I don't know. I felt the same way in Dishonored. They'd be like a mile away, and they'd be like, is someone over there? I'm like, what? What is happening? I'd be like next to them, like, there's someone here. Like, I'm not running up to them like an idiot, like, hi! I can't believe they saw me. I'm like sneaking and crouching and being methodical, and I don't know. There was at least one time where like a turret saw me and was shooting me through a plant. I was like, what? Like, I couldn't see the turret, but the turret could see me. Again, the AI's awareness and target acquisition and their accuracy, I just think it's tuned too high. I've always felt that way in Dishonored 1 and 2 and in this game. I'm like, it's just tuned too high. You got to favor the player if you're going to let me go stealth. Now, once I start shooting, sure, light me up. I made the mistake, or I started blasting. Dishonored, I felt they had eagle vision. Deathloop has been significantly easier for me. I did think that this, if I had to say it and measure it, I would say this is easier than Dishonored with respect to stealth. But I still feel like it falls into like, there's no, that guy didn't see me. You know what I mean? Splinter Cell always got this stuff right. Splinter Cell would make it to where they would favor you with stealth because that was the point of the game. But if you played dumb or you played aggressive, they'd come after you and it'd get really, really hard. I felt like they struck a good balance with that game as well. I did. I felt like they did a good job with it. I was watching a friend play Deathloop and the AI seemed pretty dumb. He literally stood in front of the turret and it didn't shoot him. It killed a guy a few feet away from somewhere else and nothing. I will say, Jeffrey, it is inconsistent, and maybe that's why I was getting frustrated. There are times where the AI is stupid. Like, I threw a firecracker, and they just frickin' stood there. I didn't do it. And I've done the same thing. I've killed somebody right next to another person, and, like, they don't even realize it. And then other times, I can't get past them. They know I'm there before I even know I'm there. I felt like it was inconsistent. There were times where the AI did feel pretty brain dead. I was like, what are they not even paying attention to me? And then other times they were like, I see something out of the corner of my eye. And they would like just turn and look at me. Look, up there! Colt's up there. Like, what? I'm most surprised with the humor in this game. Gives me hope for Arcane's Borderlands style game. Wait, are they making a game that's like a looter? Like that? When I throw bottles, they don't react. Yeah, I think the sound awareness needs to be tuned. I threw a firecracker maybe 5 feet from these two enemies, and they just stood there. They were like, meh, and they didn't do anything. It was like I didn't do it. Oh man, we got freaking murdered today. I swear, I'm never talking about this dadgum game ever again. All right, did you get the thumbnails to work? It seems like YouTube's working again. Here, I'm going to try. It's going real fast. Everything I do is fast. I'm going to try it again for you. Isn't that Redfall? Is Redfall supposed to be a looter? Oh, no, yeah, Redfall is their game. Oh, it is. It's a looter. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was going to be a looter. Huh. I mean, I could tell that they were doing. I can't. Yeah, it's not doing it for me either. Earlier, when I attempted to like look at stuff on the back end, it was really even slow on gaming to like just show me videos. Redfall leaks are suggesting it might be a looter. Okay. I like GeForce Now. Only issue, like with all cloud-based solutions, is the lack of games. How about Humankind? Would you ever play that on stream? I have gameplay of Humankind somewhere. We played it for like the first 30 minutes just to showcase it. I don't like games like that. I just don't. I get so bored so fast. The other problem with those games is you spend like the first hour and they're just telling you what to do. And that game really didn't do it. They did not. Usually those games start out like, build a house, now build a road, now make a farmer, now farm the land. Like, they're just holding your hand through the content loop so that when they let you loose, you've basically gotten a tutorial about like everything, right? And that game didn't do that. I felt like they turned me loose after 5 minutes. I was like, I don't know what the frick I'm doing. You know? I stopped playing Humankind. It needs work. It's not balanced well at all. Oh, really? It's not balanced? That's the problem with a game like that. I can showcase the opening and be like, if this is your kind of game, but if I don't have the mind and the experience to play it at length and then be like, here's what I think. Or here's where it's good, here's where it's bad. You know what I mean? Is Deathloop not random but the same every run? You're thinking of it like it's a rogue where, like in Hades, where you keep going through the dungeon. It's not like that. There's established areas. There's an established story that you're trying to figure out. There's a linear nature to the game, and it's got rogue woven within it. It is a rogue, but it's more than a rogue, is how I would phrase it. Like, Hades is a rogue. And there is a progressive nature to Hades. Like, there's progression, there's story, there's new things you can get and do and level your character. Deathloop took the rogue element and, like, wove it into how the story is evolved. Like in Looper. Like, it's the idea of breaking the loop that's the story. Is you're trying to figure it out. Why do I keep coming back here? Why do I remember certain things? How do I bring stuff with me? How do I get rid of all the people? How do I go through this, through the areas? Like, it's very, very much not like a traditional rogue, like, at all. I thought that's what it was going to be. I thought, this is just going to be a rogue. They're going to throw me in. I'm going to have, like, Dishonored-like abilities, and then I'm going to get annoyed really, really quickly, right? The reprise is one of the only reasons that I didn't set the controller down. There was at least 2 times where I was like, well, that was freaking cheap. Like, and if I'd have had to start over, I'd have put the controller down. You know, I'd be like, nah, this ain't for me. This isn't for me. I played a hard tactical RPG in the past. It wasn't actually hard, just a puzzle you had to memorize or lose. It's not like this. I'm sorry, it's not like that. Not at all. No. Is that the game where you manipulate time? If you're asking about Looper, that's a movie with isn't it? It's Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's actually a really good movie. I'm 25 hours into Ghost of Tsushima on PS5, first time playing. This is honestly might be my favorite open world game ever. It does so many cool things. Hard to play other games right now. Ghost of Tsushima is I think it's one of the greatest games ever made. It's just perfect. There's so much that there's only one thing they got wrong in that game, and it's the missions where you have to, like, investigate. I just think those are such a waste. Other than that, I think everything they get right in that game. Thoughts on Nick's fighting game? I don't know anything about it. I don't even know what that is. If it's a fighting game, I don't pay much attention to it. Probably will never play one on stream. You know? Not really my cup of tea. Looper's time travel rules made me nuts. I had to turn my brain completely off. I think I enjoyed it then. Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought they could have. I don't remember having an issue with it. I don't remember having an issue with the rules, right? I don't remember having an issue with the rules. I thought the rules were fine. I'm trying to remember exactly, like, I thought they followed the traditional rules of like if you did something here, it would affect the guy, like the future, right? It would affect the guy in the future. Is she in Looper? I was trying to think, who is the girl in Looper? Is she in? She was in Looper? No. No. That's a different Looper. How many Loopers did they do? How many movies have the name Looper? I only thought there was one. Apparently there's more. I was trying to find out who was the person in it. How many Loopers are there? Oh no, yeah, she is in it. Okay. Emily Blunt and Piper Perabo are in it or whatever. Okay. I forgot that person was in it. They did a really good job, I felt like, making him look like Bruce Willis. You know what I mean? Looper got a 93% tomato meter and an 82% from the an 83% from the audience. So it did pretty well. It did pretty well. So I just don't remember. Agree on casting and acting. That was all solid. There were real-time changes in the timeline. Like, I do a thing now, and it immediately shows up on the character as he's walking. Yeah. They did, like, that direct connection thing. They did that direct connection thing where it was like, if you did it to this guy, if you did it to this guy, then it did it to him in the future. That's right. They did that. I remember now. I remember that. And I think that there's multiple different ways to do, like, time travel, right? There's multiple different ways to do time travel where, like, if you do it, it doesn't affect it at all. It's a separate timeline. Then they do it where it does affect the timeline. Like, it's like immediate. It's like, well, no. They did that in, what was the one with the frequency? He would, like, write it on the desk, and it would appear in the future on the desk. You know what I'm saying? Like, they did that. Like, I don't necessarily know if there's not a whole lot of other options, right? You either do it where there's immediate results, or you do it where there's no results. It's a completely separate timeline, you know? I thought Quantum Break handled time travel in a cool way. Quantum Break. Was that the game? Yeah, I didn't get far enough into it to know what they did. You know? I'm fine with a flat loop, timeline changes, but not when they surprise the character with the new missing body part, like his entire life should have changed. That's what they did well in Frequency. In Frequency, when he changed something, all of a sudden his memories changed, right? He makes it to where the guy doesn't die in the fire, and then all of a sudden he gets like this injection of memories. His dad lived longer, so now all of a sudden he had all these memories with his dad. So if you suddenly lose an arm because something happened, you would live a completely different life, and all of your memories would change, and you would be different as a person. The game with the show involved, the fact that you can break time is interesting. Yeah, I just don't remember that. I remember very much disliking Quantum Break and not playing it for very long. Like I walked away from it very, very quickly. The butterfly effect. It's a but it's like a retroactive butterfly effect. It's like, well, it happened, and it's gonna change everything about you right now in the future. Like, everything about you changes, you know. Time manipulation and braking, like in Quantum Break, is probably the superpower I would choose. That'd be so easy to, like, it's not like being able to fly. Like, you could mess everything up. You know what I mean? There's multiple time travel rules in movies. No one's exactly right or wrong. Yeah. Just downloaded Quantum Break off of Game Pass in a weird coincidence. If you've played Control, you're going to see tons of influence, and you're going to be like, this is bad. You know? Like, Quantum Break's not a very good game. And they took all the good stuff out of Quantum Break, and then they made Control. Not right or wrong, just internally inconsistent, I think you meant to say. It's a movie. How is anyone right or wrong? Right. But if you create rules and you break them in the movie, that would be an inconsistent plot. Or you would call that a plot hole, right? You'd call that a plot hole. Like, if you make rules and then you lack the consistency, the rules lack consistency, then people would say, well, that they did it wrong because they weren't consistent, you know? I love Control. I'll go ahead and not play Quantum Break. Yeah, I'm telling you, you might think differently from me, Zubair, but Quantum Break was rough. I remember I met one of the CMs for Control, and I was like, oh yeah, Control looks like a better version of Quantum Break. And she was like, yeah, we made that game. And I was like, oops. And I was like, well, I'm just being honest. I didn't think Quantum Break was that good. And she was like, no, we know that Quantum Break had some problems and it had some flaws, and we wanted to take some of the good parts of it and make another game, you know, with those pieces and parts. So like, they knew that Quantum Break didn't do well. It wasn't considered a very good game. Like, Metacritic, I want to compare the two. Metacritic Quantum Break, right, did a 77 and a 7, which actually surprises me. It surprises me that it landed in the 70s. Now, on PC, it landed in the 60s and the 50s. It didn't do very good, right? It didn't do very good. Now, Metacritic for Control, 82 and a 7.2 for PlayStation, and then PC, 85 and a 7.2. So Control did much better, comparatively. Quantum Break got beat up on PC. And it got okay ratings on Xbox. Quantum Break underrated to me. 70s is average. I'm surprised it got an average score, seriously. I thought it was a bad game. I did not like it. And a lot of people agreed with me. I remember the general public, if you go and look at the PC, it got a 5.2 from the general public. Like, the reviewers gave it like a 7 on Xbox, but then the users were like, nah, they dropped it all the way down to like 5. That's not very good. I heard Control, you have my attention. I'm really hopeful for, they're doing that multiplayer thing. I was more hopeful for I wanted a sequel. I don't want a multiplayer version of Control. You know what I mean? Control sequel, multiplayer spinoff. Yeah. I'm not excited about that. I wanted a sequel. I wanted a single-player sequel. They're not for everybody. No, they're doing both. Oh, they're doing a sequel and the multiplayer spin-off. Oh. There's so many good games out, I don't have time for it might be good. People in chat are saying that Quantum Break was good, so maybe it's worth like 2 hours of your time, Zubair, just to make your own mind up. I don't know. Holy frick, we are, oh my gosh, YouTube is just absolutely merciless these last couple of days. All right. They are merciless. Let's do the Godfall thing. We gotta move on. We gotta move on. This ship is already underwater. What do we open with? Dying Light. Did I just get a blip? Yeah, I could tell. We lost like 50 people. YouTube is making it so hard to stream. It's like, we made this move, saw good results, and now we are absolutely getting the crap kicked out of us. It's like, they're making it so hard to stream. They're making it so freaking hard to stream. Like, you just keep putting my streams underwater because I can't get momentum when anybody coming into the stream is experiencing technical difficulties. Like, because they probably think it's me. The average user is not going to be like, yeah, it's YouTube. No, they're going to think that I don't know what I'm doing. They're going to think it's my fault. All right, here we go. Hey, thanks for clicking on the video and watching another SNTR update. This one's going to be about Godfall. For video game voting, I had high-tier members ask me to play this game for the first time, and they've made a lot of changes. I want to talk to you about why I think it's better now, but it's still got a ways to go. If you like these short videos, hit subscribe and the bell button. Check the link below to my live stream channel over on SNTR Gaming. So recently I dove into Godfall, 45-minute video, went through basically the entire intro, got to the first boss. It's a really great video over on SNTR Presents if you're interested in what the game looks and feels like right now. I want to give you the good, I want to give you the bad, and then I want to give you the potential, because I do think there's potential for this game and franchise to continue. So the good. The combat is actually very satisfying now. I know it was one of the main points of criticism when the game first launched, but I enjoyed it. In my opinion, it's unique and satisfying in a way that would make me play this content loop for long periods of time. I was enjoying it, I was enjoying improving, and weighing out the different things that I wanted to do and try. The gear, the flow, and the content loop, I think, are satisfying enough for me to see potential in this game getting to a better place for long-term engagement as well as a better end game. I think when a content loop is good, you need to continue to try to stretch the game to a repeatable place or an expanding place. Graphically, the game is beautiful, and the armor and the weapons are satisfying to look at. Like, I felt cool when I got new stuff. I wanted to try out the new weapons, okay? That's all of the good. All right? They have a good foundation now. They didn't have a good foundation when it landed and when it launched because you couldn't even button queue in the combat. I'm going to talk about the lack of animation canceling because I know that's something that people don't like, and I want to address that because I'm a huge fan of animation canceling. I love being able to mitigate incoming damage from the enemy, but I don't think this game needs animation canceling. Let's talk about the bad. Targeting the enemies is really clunky, and it doesn't seem to work well. Changing targets is either not working properly or non-existent. If I target a guy in the middle, and he's got guys on his left and right, and I want to switch between them, it doesn't seem to work. I have to untarget and retarget, which is absolutely stupid. I don't know why that would be the thing. I tended to have a better experience when I just stopped trying to target the enemies altogether. The ability to turn around fast certainly seems like a new skill set and muscle memory I'd have to develop. You hit down on the D-pad and you like spin around, but I don't know if it will change the sort of swamped slug feel that the game can fall into sometimes. You feel like a slug that's kind of swamped, right? Gameplay movement is a little bit slow, it's a little bit more clunky, it's the style of game, and when you get surrounded, it can get a little frustrating, and turning around quickly probably comes in, pretty significantly in later fights or more challenging areas. The lack of animation canceling certainly fits with the slower and more weighty combat, but I do think it would add to fluidity and allow them to ramp up some of the enemy's speed and aggression. If they don't ramp up the enemy's speed and aggression, I don't think you need animation canceling. I think you're supposed to be super intentional with your choices, and when you take your opportunities for big damage, you have to be disciplined and remember when and when not to hit buttons and when to use certain abilities. Okay, so I would only really want to see animation canceling brought to the game if they decided to increase the enemy's speed and aggression. That's really when it's necessary. Lastly, let's talk about the potential. There was one wave-based fight that I played, and you get better loot the longer you last, and then I fought the later boss fight that was kind of big and kind of drawn out. And to me, it pointed to massive amount of potential for this game to follow the Diablo 3 seasonal model. They could create rift-like areas that are randomly generated with seasonal loot, armor, weapons, new abilities, etc. The game is basically a third-person dungeon crawler if you look at the level design. If you actually analyze the layout of the rooms and the level design, it's basically a dungeon crawler, but you're in third-person perspective. That's, I think, one of the only ways a game like this could pull off a successful ongoing endgame is with something seasonal that has an ongoing draw and investment benefit, because the combat and the content loop, I think, are satisfying and something that I would pour hours into if the endgame was there. If they choose to continue this franchise, I think they've got a good foundation, but they got a lot of work to do. If you like these short gaming update videos, hit subscribe and the bell button, and I'll see you in the next one. There you go. If the gameplay does not hook you, watching a full playthrough, sadly, there's literally a short TV show embedded. You could probably find a YouTube series that's literally nothing like that's all it is, right? That's all. It would just be that, just the cutscenes. Mithrak says, have you tried Infamous Second Son? If not, would you give it a try? It's a PlayStation exclusive. It's probably too old for me to try. Maybe that could be a first-time Tuesday. You know, a first-time Tuesday. You know, we could be like, hey, you never played that one. Loop back and play it. It's worth playing. Let you guys kind of vote for that. So, I'm trying to wrap my head around. I picked up Godfall recently just because I played it on the every other PS5 game. It's better than I thought it would be. If this is the worst of a PS5 so far, it's not too bad at all. I think I think they could go places with it, right? I think they could go places with it, personally. I played Psychonauts 2 for an afternoon, right? And it was alright. It was alright, right? You good? Just reading something? Never mind. Oh, yeah, sorry. I was just reading something. I played Psychonauts for an afternoon. Psychonauts 2 for an afternoon. I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay. I don't know. Oh, no, not this again. Please, no. What's happening? Oh, Psychonauts 2. Game of the year. Yeah, game of the year. Yeah. Game of the year. Sure is. What game are you playing today? Returnal. We're going to try and beat Biome 3. You guys can drink up my tears. You can drink up my tears. You can drink my tears. I had to freshen up last night. I had to freshen up last night. You know what I mean? I did. How was the game so bad? It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad game. It wasn't. Did you know that Aliens Fireteam wasn't a bad game either? It was a good game. It was. But it's not going to get any awards. It's not going to get Game of the Year, right? Guys, Lono's a fan of Ratchet. We all know nothing's going to change his mind. It's not about being a fan of Ratchet. I didn't grow up with a PlayStation. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart was the first Ratchet & Clank game I'd ever played. I played the remake for one afternoon before Rift Apart launched the next day. So I'm not some like Ratchet & Clank fanboy. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, for all intents and purposes, is the literal first Ratchet & Clank game I've ever played. In Skull and Bones, there are 5 tiers of ships, small, medium, large, etc., categorized into different categories: cargo, combat, exploration. Unlocking different ships are tied to blueprints, which you can buy at different settlements. Skull and Bones sounds worse and worse. I don't know what. It sounds like it's turned into a sim game. It's a sailing sim game. I enjoyed Psychonauts 2, and I enjoyed Aliens Fireteam, but they're not winning any awards, man. They're not. I'm gonna tell you right now, they're not going to. It isn't happening. It's not happening. He said all that so fast. I can talk pretty fast. It's a gift. It's a gift that I have. It's a blessing and a curse. If you talk too fast, then people get irritated. They're like, I can't understand what the frick you're saying. You know. Ship perspective is pretty similar to 2018 gameplay, just with small changes. While on land, it's in third person, and you can only walk on foot in safe havens and hideouts. There is no combat, parkour, or anything special to walking as the captain other than to go meet NPCs. I mean, they made that game for... I don't know who they made that game for. Have you ever done that? Have you ever played a game, seen a game, saw a trailer, and you're like, I don't know who this is for? Hey, I got to do it. I got the thumbnails to change, creature. I'm going to do Wolvie next. I'm going to do Wolverine next. And bam. I thought that most recent blip was like a true blue blip. You know? Like they reset something. There you go. I got your thumbnails changed. I got your thumbnails changed, creature. Just in time, too. I gotta schedule this Returnal. I gotta schedule this Returnal stream. I gotta schedule this Returnal stream, and I need it to friggin' work because we're not extending the show today. We've been extending the show sometimes, but man, oh man, not when it's going like this one. Not when it's going like this one. Let us do this. I'm gonna take Biome 3 out of the title. We don't need that. Returnal, like Ricola. That's what, that's what we need. They should have used that for the theme song. You boot up Returnal and it's like Returnal. Just totally steal the melody from Ricola. We'll just throw it in a new gameplay. No, it's not made for children. Bum 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 bum. Okay, next. Monetization on. Yeah. Customization. Subscribers. 1 minute. Public. 12:30. Done. The areas in Rift Apart are enormous, and you can move around so fast. I don't remember seeing worlds and movement like that before. Yeah, no, not that kind of fluidity, instantaneous loading. Yeah, no. You're like in a big, huge open world, and like you stumble upon like a rift in the world, and you just step into it, and you're in a new area. Like I've never played a game like that. I have never played a game like that ever before. Like, oh wow, I'm in a like imagine doing that in like Horizon Zero Dawn. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's this giant open area. Yeah. Oh, there's a hole in reality over there. A whole new area. All right, let me go in there. And you go in, and no load time. Just go bing, you're just in there. You know what I mean? Rifts does things that's impressive. You don't even realize it. I think blips happen when the squirrel running on the wheel powers YouTube. Yeah, he catches his breath. That's right. He has to slow down. The last 3 days, it's so hard to be like, I don't even think it's our fault. Like, I don't think it's our fault. I think YouTube, I really, truly do. I think YouTube's messing with stuff, and it's fiddling with our results. And it's not our fault. It is not our fault. A new area with completely different assets. Yeah, it's just like bam. All of a sudden you're like, wow, stuff's floating. The graphics are different. The music changes. Like you're floating in like a spacey area. It's wild. It's wild. I remember playing a game like on a PS3. Well, and then you get these guys that like they cherry pick like a comment. They're like, well, they could have done the riffs on the PS3. Yep. You know what I mean? Bump. A really big guy is checking out that Hindsight 2020 game. Maybe our playthrough will get a little love off of that. You know what I mean? Game dev Twitter response matrix. A thing I like, a thing I don't like. Devs do predictable or they're cowards. Devs don't do lazy or boring. That's right. Aaron Higgs says, I don't like drama or causing it. I'm sorry for buying into what everyone was saying. I'm glad you're growing personally. I'm glad I can enjoy Lono again. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. We may be nearing the time where the public will see more about what truly went on, but for now we've just been focusing on the content. First, I apologize for doubting you. It's fine, dude. You don't need to apologize to me, man. What do you mean? I was doing that on my Atari. That's right. Like I said, for Rift Apart, the visual tricks were cool, but the actual gameplay was just okay. The game didn't do much new that platform games haven't been doing for a couple of decades. Can you name a game with combat like that? I loved the combat, and I don't know if I've ever played a game with combat like that. The jumping, the iframes on the dodging, the rifting, the massive amount of different weaponry that you could use, leveling up the weapons, the depth of weapons. Every weapon had its own skill tree. Variety in enemies, size of enemies, scope of the fight, like big dinosaurs and stuff. Horizon Zero Dawn didn't feel like that. Horizon Zero Dawn had its own feel. I mean, it had big fights. The scope of the fights was big and was awesome, and you're fighting big mechanical dinosaurs. But, like, I don't think I've ever played a game. Every other Ratchet and Clank had similar combat. Yes and no, though. The speed, the fluidity, the iframes, the movement. Did you play Psychonauts 2? Yeah. Yeah, I played it. I played it for about 2 hours. I didn't see what other people are claiming is there. You know what I mean? Similar but not the same. Well, because of course it was similar. That's like saying that the combat in God of War is similar to the God of Wars that came before. Well, yeah, but they added a bunch of cool new stuff. Now, some people said that the combat in the earlier God of Wars was better, but you know, whatever. To be fair, most Ratchet and Clank games have similar combat, but it was tweaked and it was great. I don't know. Does your old fan base know that you're on YouTube? I mean, the ones that matter do. People that immediately abandoned and walked away, like those people don't matter. Like, you know. And we had to rebrand. There was no sense in maintaining the old brand anymore. The old brand didn't make any sense. The old brand was sullied. Like, everything was under the SNTR banner, so like that name stood out and was just kind of awkward. You know, we were trying to get sponsors, and you know, sponsors are going to do, you know, brand assessments. Most of their games have a similar framework. Well, sure, but and that's how it should be, I would think. I like the old God of War combat better than the new. Yeah, Master Ty, it might have been you, but somebody said that the other day. They're like, well, I actually think the combat in the old God of War is better. I'm like, okay. You know, I can't see it. I can't see why. You know, I go and look at the old combat, and I'm like, okay, I thought the new combat was incredible. But again, I didn't play the old ones. I can just go look at them. As someone who's played Ratchet and Clank since the start, Rift Apart is definitely amazing, but the combat is the same but refined and bettered. Pretty sure Forbidden West is going to play a lot like Zero Dawn. Of course. It's been 2 to 3 weeks since the rebrand. How the numbers been looking? We rebranded to SNTR Presents a while ago. We've only been doing this for 2 weeks. And the numbers are all over the place, and it's so hard to know what the cause is. So I'm not even really looking at it and making like judgment calls. I'm like, let's just keep going, because I think YouTube's doing just a bunch of nonsense in the background. Every day this week we've had huge blips and problems, and it's like we can't be blamed for that. You know what I mean? We can't be blamed for that. YouTube's fiddling with stuff. So we just kind of have to ride the storm. I think that's one of the reasons they don't like making changes to the platform, because like the smallest changes causes all kind of instability, and it hurts. It hurts everything. It hurts uploads. It hurts live streams. There were people last night that like couldn't monetize their videos. That's not good for YouTube. Do you know how many videos are getting uploaded, every hour? And if you can't monetize, like that's bad. So I think they're making big changes, and I just think it causes all kind of problems. You know what I mean? So, hopefully it stabilizes and gets into a better spot. So, on the other way, new God of War combat is so much better. I will say the new camera angle does make certain aspects of combat awkward. It feels a little zoomed in, doesn't it? I don't know. It feels a little zoomed in. It's a little like, it feels like you're kind of turning a refrigerator. You know what I mean? So. Could big things with all the blips, a relaunch of YouTube Gaming? It could be. Like, we weren't just getting blips today on streaming. We couldn't change thumbnails. Like, we had uploads we were trying to push out, and we couldn't change their thumbnails. Like, there's definitely stuff going on in the background. You know what I mean? There's definitely something going on. And it could be maintenance. It could be updates. It could be feature ads. There's just no way to know. I think it's really just the combat arenas that I wish were better, not the actual combat. I feel like the arenas could have used more. Going from arena to arena with minor in-between travel was meh. Yeah, I think they wanted to be careful and cautious about it feeling like kitchen sink. You know what I mean? All I'm going to say is God of War 2 Barbarian Fight wipes out all the new God of War in full, period. Okay. I think YouTube Gaming should come back. I think it is coming back. I think they took it down. I think they took it down because that was the plan. They took YouTube Gaming completely down, can't use it, can't download it, can't do anything with it, because I think that was the plan, is we need to completely relaunch this. Hey, somebody ordered some coffee, like literally just now. Bag of light roast to McD09. Guys, get your coffee orders in. Seriously, it's just been amazing to see. You guys are awesome. Use that coffee command. Go to ragelessroast.com. The first Baldur fight in God of War is nuts. That's from someone who played basically every God of War. The Baldur fight is just stellar for many reasons. I never liked the old God of War's legit button mashers. I didn't play them. I'd love to be able to speak into that. Or are they just button mashers? Are they just button mashers? That's the question. Because if they are, then you're definitely going to not appeal to me. I don't like button mashers. I find them to just be absolutely throwaway. It doesn't ever feel like I'm doing anything, Looking forward to trying it. Thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. You acquire the big streamers first before you relaunch. That's right. Old God of Wars definitely aren't button mashers. They're more combo oriented. Like a not as intricate Devil May Cry. Would you ever consider selling hot chocolate? I don't think so, because we work with a roaster, and they wouldn't. I don't know how would I even get hot chocolate. We're doing a Frickmas blend for Christmas. Well, for Frickmas, I should say. And that'll be available. And then we're wanting to do then we're going to be doing Select. What are you doing? Oh man. Tired and grumpy grumps. Is the salsa bad? Isn't it still in the fridge? I think it's still in the fridge. I'm gonna take a break, so I'll check it. Guys, don't go anywhere. We're gonna be playing Returnal video game voting for Rewind Wednesday. You guys voted for me to go back into Returnal. We're gonna see if we can beat Biome 3. So don't go anywhere. I'm just gonna kind of eat. We're gonna kind of chill. If you want to turn it into an AMA, Anybody can use the question command. We'll just kind of take the last 30 minutes and chill before we get into Returnal. Don't go anywhere. Appreciate you guys being here. If you're enjoying today's stream, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell button so you don't miss the next one, and give that like button a smash. Oh, sorry. Oh, gosh. God of War 2018 isn't just evolution, it's complete. Isn't just a reinvention, it's complete evolution. I mean, I loved it. And obviously, I was new to the franchise, so that, you know, that affects your judgment a little bit, you know. Brushed off God of War until I saw people play it. Yeah. Can I ask a content creator question? Yeah. Yeah. No interest. I thought it was going to be an updated button masher. It sounds like the early ones were a step above a button masher, but I get your point. Maybe God of War 3 remastered for a Rewind Wednesday. Well, that would be a first time Tuesday if it's something I've never played, right? If it's something I've never played, yeah. Question, kind of AMA here at the end, Kuda Papa. In your opinion, what's the best way to stave off hating on new games because you have nostalgia for older games? Oh, I don't know. You have to try to let games exist as they're supposed to. Like, I like to judge something as it intended itself to be. Like, if somebody sets out to make a rogue, I don't like rogues. I would prefer a dungeon crawler. I'd prefer an RPG looter dungeon crawler. But it's not fair to judge it based on like what I would have rather it be. You know what I mean? Like, I try to ask the question, what did they set out to build? And then I judge it based on its merits within that. If you really like roller coasters, it's not fair to ride a merry-go-round and be like, there weren't enough loops and hills. Well, it's a merry-go-round. Like, they didn't set out to build a roller coaster. And you have to understand that everything you play, everything you've ever experienced, is going to shade your judgment. If you grew up going to Cedar Point, and then you go to like the county fair, and they have like a teeny little roller coaster, you have to understand that, you know, what you're signing up for. It's like the difference between a AAA title and an indie title. It's not going to hit the same. It's smaller. The budget's not as big. It's not going to be as intense. Like that game Death's Door, you know, criticizing Death's Door against the backdrop of like Diablo 3 expectations. You know what I mean? What are you doing? Death's Door can be good in its own right and in its own context, and it's sold like crazy, but it's not going to have the length and the depth of a Diablo 3 campaign. Can't judge an alligator by how it does in a tree climbing contest, right? Arch Enigma says, if Sony releases certain first-party games on PC around 12 to 18 months after launch, more than likely 18, Should they charge full price, or should you get around a $10 discount, like in Horizon Zero Dawn's case? I don't know. I mean, I don't like discounting AAA, robust, super full, awesome, popular games. Like Days Gone, when I bought it on PC, I should have bought that at full price. I don't know if I did, but I should have. How much was Days Gone when it came to PC? Wasn't it full price? I mean, I don't know. A lot of work went into that. It was a full game. The full game, they had to pay a company to port it. Steam gets a cut. Days Gone was $69.99 on PC. Days Gone is $50. So did they mark it down? Higgs is saying it was $70 when they brought it. Did they mark it down as time went on? Yo, what's good, Atwood? Star Wars fans are bad at this as an example. We're so focused on the older games that the new ones get torn to shreds because it's not this or that or blah, 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 but that also affects other developers. I've never been hurt by the nostalgia. I take the game as you play it. I take the game and play it as it is, then make a judgment like you. Yeah, nostalgia's funny because, I mean, it didn't hurt Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. People weren't really comparing it to old Star Wars games. Yeah, it looks like when Days Gone hit, it was 50. Wheezy found an article. Apparently, it hit Steam and Epic Games on May 19th for $50. Now, I would have paid $60 for it. I would have. But customer perception would be, it's a year and a half to 2-year-old game. What are you charging full price for? That's going to be the problem. You know what I mean? Like, I can see, as like a reasonably educated person, that I should be paying full price for this. It was ported. It's a full game port to PC. But the consumer perception might be, this is a 2-year-old game. I'm not paying full price for this. MJ Talk says, what are good editing software that you're user-friendly for the amateur? I have a channel and I suck at it. I use like Sony Movie Suite 11 or 12 or something. I think those are usually pretty good, but the best thing to do is pick software and then just look up YouTube videos on how to use it. That's what I did. It's 2.5 years to make that port. Yeah, customer doesn't care though. I'm sitting here telling you I would willingly pay full price, $60 for that game to come to PC. I don't know about 70. Paying 70 on PS5 makes sense because like extra development went in for the haptic feedback or some of the other, PS5 features. I guess if I'm getting all those features, maybe. Been free on PlayStation for a year, was 2.5 from the initial release. Don't you think that'll be the cycle, though? That'll be the cycle, right? 18 months later, it gets kicked over to PC. They make it free on PlayStation, and then we buy it for $50. God of War Ragnarok hits PC 18 months after release, it'll be 70. Okay. I'll take that action. I bet you they mark it down to 60. All about perception. What will the market bear? It's all about customer perception. You and I, our opinions, they kind of don't matter. Right? We don't matter. I think the consumer matters more, and I think in this scenario, the consumer is going to say, I'm not paying 70 for a game that came out a year and a half ago. Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut will be 70? No. Oh. No, I'll take that action. I'll see your prediction and I'll say no. I think they are. I think a year and a half later they're going to say you got to mark it down by 10. Especially if they don't bring over the haptic feedback. If they don't bring over the haptic feedback, you're not getting the $70 version. You're getting a slightly lesser than version. If they bring over the haptic feedback, even then, I just don't know. Oh, I do not like that Returnal does that. It immediately jumps into the game and starts the timer. Like, I can't pause it. I can't pause the timer. Well, we got an SSD, so we'll load it up when it's time. I don't want to stand at the beginning for 8 minutes. It's not about that. It's about moving the baseline price of games. If they move the baseline price of games, which I believe that they're doing, on PS5 to 70, a year and a half later, I think you could justifiably say it should be 60 now. It's closing in on 2 years old. It's a year and a half old. You mark it down. You still move the baseline price of games. Like, I don't think anybody's going to see that and be like, I can't believe you marked the game down a year and a half later. Like, Demon's Souls is 70. Demon Souls Remake on PS5 is $70. I think they're going to set the price on those games and leave them, but I think when you bring the game to PC a year and a half later, it's going to be I just think it's going to be really, really hard. You could be right. Sony could be like, well, we don't care. We don't care. It's our storefront. It's our choice, right? The Amazing American Circus launches tomorrow. It blends Slay the Spire card game with tycoon and simulation mechanics. I don't know. What's it called? The Amazing American Circus. Is anybody even searching for that? The Amazing American Circus gameplay. First impressions from 6 months ago. Look sponsored. Gameplay trailer. Gameplay trailer from 2 weeks ago. They're offering me a code. They're offering me a code. What was tomorrow? What were we gonna play and record tomorrow? We recorded that. Tomorrow's Thursday, right? No. Was there anything from today? No. We don't need to record a Throwdown Thursday, I don't think. I might take him up on that. I like having stuff recorded before it launches. I like being able to do that. I think that's nice. Like Gas Station Simulator today. Is the reason why even EA and Activision are hesitant to mark up games by $10 on PC? Will it eventually happen? Probably, but the market perception isn't there yet. And Sony could be one of the first ones to be like, no, yeah, we're marking it up. You know what I mean? They could be one of the first ones to be like, no, we're doing it. Yeah, it's our, the price will be in line with whatever the price of that game currently is. Right, and I could see, Eugene, a year and a half later, God of War Ragnarok either being discounted, free, maybe there's a bundle deal, maybe they do DLC, I don't know. Current perception is 60 equals AAA, 70 equals expensive. If it's still 70 on PS5, it'll be 70 on PC. I think I might be able to agree. I think I might be able to agree with that. If they're still selling the thing for 70, they'll just sell it for 70. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, we sold 6 orders of coffee today, guys. Thank you very much. Seriously, that is always very encouraging. YouTube could be on lighting its servers on fire, but you guys are bringing the support. I appreciate it very, very much. I haven't checked on Displate in a while. If you guys are ordering Displates, hopefully you're using that link either with the Displate command or in the description below if you're watching a past broadcast. I haven't checked on it in a while. I think I need to check back in with the guy and get some more sent to me. I think it's been a full month. I was going to wait and get to him after an entire month of work. It looks like about 7 days ago some people ordered. So about a week ago we had some orders. We haven't had orders since. That's okay. And then we launched on the 16th with them. Okay, so tomorrow we we've sold 53. So tomorrow will be an entire month. So I'll reach back out today and say, hey, we need to get some new ones sent, so we can rotate. FIFA's 70 on both. It's crazy. Okay. Right at the end, man. What are they doing in the mornings? YouTube is 100% doing stuff in the mornings, it seems. Maybe that's like the best time. I think, what is noon? Noon when things start to, ramp up for the platform, probably, like saturation-wise. They probably are doing stuff in the morning to get ready for the midday peaks. I bet they, you think they would do it like the middle of the night, but whatever. All right, we are getting ready to go play some Returnal. Now, this is something that you guys voted for, okay? Video game voting allows you, if you're a Tier 2 member or above, so if you're not a member, become one. That's great. It supports me directly. It supports the business. You can upgrade your existing one to Tier 2 if you'd like, or just click the join button or use the join command. And you can become a Tier 2 member, and you get to vote on different days of the week what I play. Now, if a big game releases, I don't play what you voted on. So yesterday we played Deathloop, and instead of me playing Godfall, I just recorded the Godfall footage and put it on SNTR Presents. So you still get to dictate what I play. We just kind of shift things if a big game launches. So like Deathloop launched, and it was like, okay, we're going to shift things. I'll play Deathloop, and then the recording of Godfall hit Presents, okay? So if you want to vote, become a Tier 2 member, you can either use the Discord to vote or just look for those Tier 2 member and above posts. I do a community post once a week on this channel and on Presents. So it doesn't matter where you're a Tier 2 member to me. That you're paying the extra, you get the feature. It should show up in your feed. You guys, for Rewind Wednesday. So on Mondays, Pass or Play Mondays is new games to vote Pass or Play on. I play them and I'll give you my judgment at the end. Tuesdays is First Time Tuesday, something I may have skipped out on, like Godfall. Rewind Wednesday is me going back to something that I previously played that you want me to return to. So we are returning to Returnal. Anyway, I never got past Biome 3. I would get there and it would kick my butt. I brushed up last night, got a little bit better. There's a link in chat. The link is pinned at the top, okay? The link is pinned at the top. It's also going to be the featured video on the channel, and when this stream ends, it should redirect you, okay? It should redirect you to the new stream. If it doesn't, then use the link in chat or just go back to the homepage of SNTR Gaming. Even if you're like, I don't like Returnal, I don't like gameplay, I just like you talking, I'm going to ask a big favor of all you lurkers. Come hang out for 30 minutes, okay? A lot of you guys are like, I don't like gameplay, I just like the talk show. If you want the talk show to continue to be a 4-hour endeavor, I need you to start supporting the gameplay in the afternoons, okay? Because I'm going to start to cannibalize the talk show if you don't do it. If you like lurking in the mornings and you like a 4-hour talk show, then I need you to start showing some love to the afternoon gameplay. Come hang out for 30 minutes, okay? If you're lurking right now and you love the talk show, click the link or ride the redirect, okay? There's a lot of you here, okay? There's a lot of you here, so come hang out for 30 minutes. Help out the afternoon to keep the morning going, if that makes sense, all right? I'll see you guys over there in the new stream. Click that link in chat or ride the redirect.